Welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the last standing Samoan, Big Rig Nick Utam.
Baby. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here too. and finally, American Ramrod Kendo Slice.
Well, shit, on that note, old white women, Lena Dunham, pound cake.
Hold on. Well, since Dion's not here, let's put the guy on the horse up.
There we go.
Let's put this up, and let's. And just because Dion's not here, that's why George Bush loves this show, because
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
So there we go. Dion, you're not here, but you're here, buddy. We love you. So folks, tonight we got a show, a good show, but we have to talk about something serious and a little somber in just a moment. So first off, nothing new over on Patreon this week in terms of members, but that's cool, folks. We have a new content coming for you tomorrow. Kendo and I sat down and recorded some stuff, so we're going to be uploading that, and then we'll be getting together very soon to put more content together. Remember, folks, you can request stuff. So if you want specific things like, hey, will you guys review this or watch this or play that, join our Patreon page and ask us. And remember, when we do fan streams, you can be a part of them. So now, at the start of the show today, and I hope everyone that's listening, I wanted to take a couple of minutes, not just a moment, but a couple of minutes to talk about a really important listener who impacted all of our lives on the channel. So it's with great sadness that I have to start the show out with this, but one of our dedicated listeners, Brandon Moist, has passed away. And the other day, when I received the news from our good friend Salvador, I didn't believe it at first. I was shocked. It's the first thing I see when I wake up, and it just, you know how it is. You hear some bad news, you're like, oh, no way. And first thing I thought was, man, that guy was so young. And then you learn a little more about him and stuff. So I wanted to take a time to dedicate tonight's show to our friend Brandon Moist, because he is the only listener to have ever had an episode named after him. Many years ago, we had one called The Moist Awakens, I believe. And because of Brandon, we have a staple for this show as well. So, folks, if you listen to the show regularly and you know our word game, it started because of our good friend Brandon Moist. It started with the Moist titles. So tonight we're going to be playing the game, but we'll get to that in a moment. But I wanted to say that as somebody who has never experienced this, I'm trying to respectfully talk about it, because remember, folks, this is a family matter. I'm just a guy on the internet who was lucky enough to interact with this guy quite regularly, and he did have an impact on our life, on our show. So if I seem like I'm moving through this a little faster, it's because I don't feel like it's my place to make this about me. This is about him. So I just want to say, Brandon Moist, wherever you are, if you're listening to us, thank you for everything, buddy. And it's really sad that we had to lose a member of the community at such an early age, and especially when you already knew he was a cool dude, but when you find out all the great stuff he did. And superfan Adam Shawhan and he were really close, and they were talking about stuff and trying to meet together and do all this stuff in the new year. So it's really sad. But folks in the chat, tonight, put a 1 in the chat for our good friend Brandon Moist. Sadly, one of the first fallen members of the fandom menace in the community, World Class Bullshitters. And in honor of our friend Brandon Moist, we wanted to play the Moist title game. So we're going to play that all throughout the night with one request. No super chats. This is not about this game. That's for Brandon. It's the last time we were going to play it, but we don't want to make anything from it. So any other topic, awesome, cool, normal show as usual. We're going to have fun. We're going to get the energy high. But I'm asking, out of respect for Brandon and everyone out there, if you bring in the Moist titles, do not send them via super chat, because this isn't about that. So I think it's just, we're going to take a moment of silence and we're going to move on. All right. Yeah. So you guys ready to switch gears a little bit and talk about something a little more positive?
Yeah, let's raise one high. We'll see you on the other side, Ray.
Damn right. He was a really good dude. So seeing a ton of ones. Thank you, folks in the chat. A lot of love, a lot of respect in the community today. So thank you. So we have some good news. Let's start off with some good news. Somebody in our community, guys, hit a huge milestone. So we're just going to take a moment to congratulate the Quartering. He just hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So
oh, wow.
It goes to show you putting up all the videos, putting all the time in, all the work, weathering all the bullshit does pay off. So Jeremy, congratulations. I don't know if you'll ever hear this, but we're all really happy and proud of you, man. And there you go. So, let's see. Other stuff, fun stuff, show-related stuff. Indiana Jones. What do you think of him, Kendo?
I love Indiana Jones. I mean, the first time I saw it was Temple of Doom. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it. And then I saw Raiders, and that became my favorite of the two that I knew about. And then I saw The Last Crusade, and I don't know which one of those three is my favorite. It depends on the day. And then I heard there was a fourth movie, but I never believed it. And so I'm pretty sure there's just the three.
Nick, same question to you.
Yeah, I watched them I watched them in reverse, basically. Last Crusade, Temple of Doom, and then Lost Ark. I agree. I agree with Kendo. Like once again, like you can watch any of them anytime, all three of them if you want to, but it's not really a favorite. They're just really solid movies.
So, the good news and the bad news of Indiana Jones is the fact that they're making a fifth movie, even though they never made a fourth one. But today we have a little a promise, a commitment. I don't know. It's Hollywood, so their words are hollow. But Indiana Jones producers promise Harrison Ford will not be recast. So Frank Marshall reiterates that Harrison Ford will not be recast as Indiana Jones.
So is it going to be Harrison Ford and a rascal? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean, the guy's getting up there. Let's it's like, I mean, hey guys, we're gonna give you another Indiana Jones movie, but hey, we're not gonna recast him. We're gonna put 80-year-old ass Harrison Ford out there. It'll be cool. You'll love it. No, we won't.
No,
fucking leave it. They rode off in the sunset in the third movie, and that is like anybody knows. In the epitome of American movies, riding off into the sunset is like the cherry on top of the poontang pie sundae. You don't need anything else. That's it.
Kendo, that's how this show's going to end.
Apparently.
Hey, if you're riding off in the sunset with some poontang pie, you don't need nothing else. Unless that's not your thing, in which case we don't shame or judge.
Apparently, Kendo likes cherries with his poontang pie.
I mean, who doesn't?
We don't judge if you're not interested in that.
I just found it funny what you said. It was hilarious.
Hey, swerve you, bro.
To the folks in the chat, real quick. Hammond in Texas. You know what? It's cool. It came before anything else was said. So as long as you're cool with everything, not going to read it. But no apologies necessary, man. It's cool. Just want to put that out there so no one feels weird and can have fun tonight. And we have a ton of great Moist titles. So right now we have, let's see, Jurassic Moist. We also have Holly Moist, 12 Moist Men, Once Upon a Time in Moist.
Oh, son of a bitch.
What?
No, never mind. I thought one of those was mine, but the 5 I've got for my top 5, none of those are on there yet.
So to get back on topic, though, about Indiana Jones 5, I hate to be the guy that's like, it's going to be terrible, but the fourth one sucked. I love Harrison Ford. He's my favorite actor. I didn't mean to kidnap and kill him, but I love him.
I mean,
please.
You didn't really. That was kind of me and Nick.
That was your fault.
Whoa. That was all you, homeboy.
Bitch, you were with me the whole way.
I had nothing to do with it. You can't prove it.
There's a fucking comic book that shows you being key and involvement in it.
That's all allegations and hearsay and good drawing from Jeff. That's all that is.
Bullshit. That will hold up in court, and you're going down with me.
It is not going to hold up in court like those.
Against the glass.
Nah, man, that ain't gonna hold up in court, man.
I feel like it worked when I had lunch today.
wait, hold on. Has anybody done the cable guy thing yet?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm sure that's coming.
Give it another couple of days. It'll happen.
Steven, call your mother. It sucks that it was a box office flop and almost killed Ben Stiller's career before it really took off, but I'll stand by the cable guy. That's a good movie.
I've only ever watched it the once, when I got it on tape, when it first came out on tape, and I was just like, what is this? This isn't Ace Ventura.
Yeah, it was one of those things. I think, he got tired of being the funny guy. So he's like, I'm gonna do something kind of serious, and he did Cable Guy, which, I mean, like, watching it as a kid, it's like, oh, what the hell is this? But watching it as adults, like, oh, it's okay. He did it right.
But yeah, Indiana Jones 5, I don't think it'll ever happen. Personally, I think this is one of those situations where they're going to promote stuff. They're going to talk about it, kind of like the Rian Johnson trilogy. And then instead of that, you're going to get 20 more Star Wars shows. Oh, wait. That Ryan Johnson trilogy is never ever happening. But
I love how they announced 20 shows, but no Ryan Johnson trilogy. I'm sure he's like, yeah, I'm still working on the treatment and the outline. I'll get it to you guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's like the kid. He's like the kid running into the school with his fucking project before the bell rings, and they're about to have the science fair or something like that. No, guys, I'm right here. I got it. It's like, yeah, we never were going to include you. We don't care about your hamster in the wheel and your fucking baking soda volcano.
There's always one of those at every science fair. Even like I don't know what it is. Like that's not really a science project. That's just a chemical reaction. I don't know why you're doing this, Billy. Just go home.
Dude. Like I got some stories about the one time I tried to put on a science fair. I'll maybe fucking share that for Patreon or something like that. But
please do.
Jesus, some of the submission ideas that I got. One in particular that I would love to tell you guys about. And I was just like, I don't see how that's a science project, but okay.
Well, I mean, what was it? I think last week we talked about the fact that I was that I dodged what is it? An arranged marriage. So that's on there.
That's true.
That's true. About that publicly.
Nick was almost got food.
Yeah, that's true. That almost happened. But if you want to listen about those shenanigans, sign up for our Patreon.
Yeah. Hell yeah, Nick. Take one for the team.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Hear about Nick's arranged marriage.
Look, if you were going to marry Brie Larson for us, look.
I don't know, man. It looks like she might need it now. Her YouTube channel ain't doing too well. She ain't got no gigs lined up, so I
saw some rumor from like We Got This Covered or something talking about her possibly getting booted because nobody likes her anymore. I'm like, look, that rumor worked
anymore.
Anymore, they never did. But back last year with Avengers Endgame, when we were covering like, hey, there's a lot of talk that people don't like her in this movie, and so we have the interviews with Don Cheadle and Chris Hemsworth. We have that weird Wired interview. And then we have talk of an alternate cut of the movie. And then we see the movie and she's literally punched out of it. Like off screen.
Yeah. She becomes Miss MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Dude, and the minute Thanos punched her off screen, we knew how they felt about her. Like any news coming out or anything like that. It's like, look, she basically buried herself, and I have no sympathy for that. But it's nothing new.
Yeah. I mean, once again, like you mentioned, those interviews, like we all saw how she was acting. She's like, hey, I came in the 11th hour, but I'm part of the crew, right? I get my T-shirt and the jacket and everything. We're cool, right? It's like, nah, we've been doing this for 10 years, bitch. Like, just go off and screw off. Like, if she was cool with everybody and everything, I'm sure they would have been fine. But the fact that I think she thought that she was owed this or entitled to it, they were just like, yeah, just sit over there.
Yeah. It's like the new guy that shows up and he's like, yeah, man, this is great. This is wonderful. I mean, Bob, what a hard day. And you've been fucking working your ass off through the entire COVID. And you're just like, yeah, you can relate.
I want to thank our friend Tony Simpanero for saying a female reboot of a franchise is a period piece.
Oh,
God damn it. God damn it.
And that is the tenor of the show. Thank you, sir.
That right there, sir, a winner is you. That is.
That's what I need. That's the button I need to install, dude. A winner is you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Or the congratulations.
All from Ghostbusters, the NES game.
You saved the humanity or whatever that was written out, like something that had nothing to do with fucking Ghostbusters. It's great.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Terrible, but that right there is brilliant.
Oh, here we go. I'll read it. It says, "Congratulations, you have completed a great game and proved the justice of our culture. Now go ahead and rest our heroes."
What did they translate the Japanese version? What is that?
It's a shit video game, Nick.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a terrible video game that does a disservice to a brilliant film, and it has one of the worst title or ending congratulations things you'll ever get. It's like you play through this entire game, you grind it out to beat this impossible fucking game with no instruction on how to do so, and then when you finally do, and you expect this conquest moment, you get a broken fucking English misspelled ending credit screen that's just black with white text, and you're just like, seriously? Well, seriously, I just fucking spent 7 days trying to do this, or probably longer.
Well, Kendo, how did you feel about this end screen from the Friday the 13th game? You and your friends are dead. Game over.
See, that I'm okay with, because it kind of goes with the tenor of Friday the 13th, whether the game or the movie. there's a good chance that you're probably not going to survive. Because I mean, what's the survival ratio of that game or that movie? I mean, Nick, you have like how many campers each movie, and like one gets away?
No, you got a 33% chance of making it. You're not even going to try. Jason,
God damn it.
God
damn it. I'm trying to do hard math in my head. Jeff comes in with that shit.
I ask a legit question just to show how there's like a 90% fatality rate of being a member of the Friday the 13th cast.
Yes.
And then here comes Jeff just swinging in fucking Leroy Jenkins style with some Scott Steiner mouth. I love it. That's made my week.
The approximate stat is 90.1, just to be accurate.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah,
now, you're the biggest Friday the 13th fan. There was a secondary screen when you win the game, or sorry, when you lose. It says you're dead, your friends are dead, your family's dead, your fucking pets are being skinned alive, your mom's a fucking whore, you suck at life, the whole world hates you, you're going to hell, live with it. Game over.
That's the ending. That's the ending I got.
Screen.
Yeah, that's the ending I got. That made me the man I am today.
Live with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just need a fucking what's her name? J-Law to come running in going, they're all dead. And then she gets her tits out on the internet.
That's a movie that actually happened. Would not send us makes watch over on Patreon.
Yeah. Just watch a slideshow of all of her fucking fappening leaks. No, he sent us mother.
Yay, motherfucker.
Yeah. Be happy we weren't forced to watch 2019 Black Christmas.
Yet.
Listen, I've given you guys copies of that.
She just opened up Shit Dora's box. As soon as Swinging Cod hears that, he's gonna fucking get turgid in his pants, start firing 20s.
What do you think's more dangerous, Kendo? Shit Dora's box or J.J. Abrams' mystery box?
Whew, that's a good question. I mean, Shit Dora's box results in us being miserable for like 20 or 2 hours, drinking and hating a movie. J.J. Abrams' box could potentially kill franchises and ruin like a year. So
but
JJ's mystery box is probably worse.
But I hate J.J. Abrams' mom's mystery box more.
Yeah, because she gave us J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, that's the worst thing to ever come out of anything.
Yeah, he came out of that mystery box. Fucking mystery beat.
His mom's like, why do you look like the mailman?
There is no father. It was a miracle birth.
Yeah. His dad's like, wow, he doesn't look like me. Am I his father? She's like, no, one of those 5 guys is. It's like a fucking Maury Povich episode where they don't understand DNA and they're on there being tested for like the 20th time. It's like you don't understand. You clearly don't understand how this works, right? You can't just point.
It's not going to change the rating or whatever.
And, it's not like a blood test where most of a lot of people have the same blood type. But then again, OJ got off, so there you go.
Anything can happen.
The juice is loose.
So we talk about the remakes every week. So Nick, I know the buttons. I got to get the button fixed, but imagine remake of the week is playing now. Nick, with that being said, have you heard what this week's remake is?
No.
Kendo, yes or no? Have you heard what this week's remake is?
I think I have, but I've looked at so much shit this week. I'm not for sure, but I'm going to go with maybe.
Jesse, have you heard about what this week's female remake is?
I don't think so.
Well, folks, there's a new female Zorro show from Robert
God
Rodriguez.
damn it, I did hear about that.
NBC.
What the fuck? Why?
Yes,
Hold on.
I did hear about
I might want to watch this, though, because I think Sofia Vergara is in the show. I'm just joking.
Oh, never mind.
Damn it.
Well, hang on.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If the woman Zorro is the one from the Dust Till Dawn show that he had on his network, I might be okay with that because she's really hot.
I don't know, man. If it's Sofia Vergara, Jeff might have convinced me.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Running around in like a low cut Zorro top, and she's like, "I am Zorro." I'll be like, "You damn right you are," and I don't know of any other Zorro.
You know what I'm going to say? I don't like identity politics shoved into my shows, but I do like tits. So
And I love Sofia Vergara.
Preferably Latin American MILF, like those kind of tits.
I am a man. I'll be transparent. If they made this show, which I was never going to watch or seek out, if I saw clips of like sexy Zorro and it was like played for laughs, sure. If this is like trying to be something serious and Zorro was never, but if this is a Batwoman situation where because Zorro is a mantle you pass on. If Antonio Banderas or some other cool guy that looks like Zorro is gonna get like shit on, then I'm against this. If this is one of those things where it's like, hey, Zorro died, so this hot woman took over, it's played for laughs, like an episode of Three's Company, then I'm on board. But just got to put it out there like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember Tarantino talking about. I think that was a comic, or somebody made a comic of Zorro meets Django, and I think Tarantino wanted to make the movie of that, and I was entirely down to that. I was like, that's a really fun crossover. I would be entirely okay with that, but I guess that didn't happen. So we're getting Robert Rodriguez making a low budget NBC show that's a female Zorro. So
yes, the Zorette.
The Zorette.
I like the Zorette. Now, John 42 asks, will she have boob armor? Zorro doesn't wear armor because Zorro is a master swordsman.
Yeah. Doesn't need
her
armor.
Her boobs are her armor. That's how that's going to work.
Oh, dude.
By the way, folks,
pretty cool. Like,
if
somebody they go to like get her with the sword and she just fucking flings her tits at him and like knocks it away. She's like parrying with her boobs. Wow. That could be a good show, because even if the dialogue was terrible and the story was terrible, you could just fucking put it on mute.
That's true.
Robert Rodriguez, hire us to make your damn show.
Yeah, he's not, because he hired his sister.
That's probably true.
No, honestly, that's the news article. He hired his sister, who's going to be writing and directing.
Okay, well then she needs to call us.
Yeah,
She'll fire us within 30 seconds after she hears our pitch.
Like, here's the thing: we're not
powerful.
Just because we want the parody Zorro. Here's how we'd pitch it though. We'd say to Mrs. Rodriguez, be like, "Yo, we want to make a Zorro show like a Mexican soap opera.
Oh,
so we want to keep it culturally sensitive. This is how I pitch it to these people." And I say, the Mexican culture, the Zorro culture, and all this stuff, you want to keep it 1-to-1. So you, in that framework, like their TV shows, I've watched like Sábado Domingo and all these crazy shows that are on Saturday nights and shit, and the crazy soap operas and shit, the novellas. I love that shit when you're drunk and you don't know what they're saying, and so dude just walks in the room and slaps somebody or throws somebody through a bed of roses or some shit. It's dramatic and it's fun. I want that for my Zorro.
All the women are like very large chested.
Oh, you want Telemundo Zorro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, Telemundo, Univision, it doesn't matter at this point.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
Zorro.
Throw a couple of luchadors in there. You got a show,
dude. Oh my god. Like
it's like Lucha Underground meets Zorro meets fucking.
There you go. Also,
Mexican soap operas would be great.
Also, Danny Trejo for the pilot episode. You're done. You're done.
Oh, dude, he should be the big bad guy.
Oh, yeah. That'd be even better.
It'd be like Dallas, but he's J.R. Ewing, and instead of Dallas, it's like Mexico City or something like that, and it's like Dallas, but it's there you go. You just reboot Dallas. It's like a Mexican soap opera. Done.
I would watch that.
El Dallas.
Oh, yeah, I would learn Spanish to be able to watch it without subtitles.
Who shot JR? Anyone in the chat that speaks Spanish? I mean, I could Google it, but I'm just going to ask somebody in the chat. How do you translate "Who shot JR" in Spanish? A telenovela Zora says Latino slant. So people in the chat seem to like the ideas. Let's just have fun with it, because folks, we need fun. And you're not making fun of Mexican people. You're making a Mexican show. Yeah. Do it across the world.
Yeah. Oh god,
like that. Oh, of course, that's the beautiful part. Like culturally, that's what the TV is. Some of it, not all of it, obviously, but like the stuff that's like really theirs that everyone knows. Embrace it. It's fun.
Yeah, we're just taking an idea, we're running with it as hard as possible, and we just came up with some great stuff. Here you go, Guadalajara. Here you go, Guadalajara instead of Dallas. That's even better. Or Tijuana, because you could have so many better stories with Tijuana. There's donkey shows and all sorts of stuff. You can get Kinky Kelly and her sexy stud.
Our friend Miss Ninja Julian seconds Telemundo Zorro. So thank you, Miss Ninja Julian, for everything, buddy. Our friend Fook Google says "Quien haciendo JR."
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because Quien is who?
It's been forever since I took Spanish. We're talking 2003, so 17 years.
Yes, it's about the last time I took Spanish class in college. Like outside of Taco Bell, I'm kind of out on my Mexican or Spanish words, with the exception of the bad ones. I know how to say all the bad ones still, so there you go.
That's always the first thing you learn, are like the bad words of any language.
Yeah, beso mi culo. Chinga madre. I can do that.
Hey,
I got that
guys,
going for me.
we got another sad thing to talk about real quick.
Oh God.
Oh.
Tiny Zeus Lister died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Devo.
Devo? Shit.
Somebody in the chat just posted that up.
So you know what that means?
Huh.
We need to watch what you call it. Fuck.
Friday.
The movie. Yeah, well, Friday, yes. No, it's
Oh, you
the
mean
No Holds
Ready
Barred.
to Rumble? Oh yeah, No Holds Barred. Anytime you want to
Ready
watch
to
that, man,
Rumble.
I want to watch that too.
We'll save that for when
Well,
David
I was
Arquette dies.
also going to say Fifth Element, but yeah, jeez, man.
Poor Devo.
Yeah, surprised. Let's just see what was Lister was found dead in his home. He passed away. He was 62. There's no word on the cause of death yet. So,
Maybe
Yeah,
Craig
man,
finally got even.
Jeez, that's rough, man.
yeah. So I'm glad that everyone's cool with female Zorro. Like I'm all on board with that one. Our version of it. So
Well, I mean, when
WCW
you add the sex appeal and the comedy to it, I think you got a win-win. So it's a good way to go. Exactly, and once again, we're not making fun of the culture. We're just making this ridiculous woke product better. That's all we're doing.
Yeah. It's like you're trying to sell it to the masses. It won't work. But if you do what we tell you to do, it will, because we are the masses.
Now, Nick, you're the technology guy on the show. When it
Okay.
comes to articles and stuff like that, you got it locked down. What are your thoughts on deepfakes?
They're really, really dangerous. I am extremely shocked that they weren't used more during this last election. I was very surprised we didn't see like a ton of those.
That's how wars will start, Nick.
Well, no, and that's what I was worried about, because like I was worried that there would just be like some asshole with a computer who would just start making those over and over again for like, political gain on one side or the other. But it didn't happen, thankfully. And yeah, they're super dangerous, because I've seen how they're made, and apparently they're not that difficult. They've become like, it seems like every couple of weeks they get simpler and simpler. I mean, hell, there's even an app now. What is it? The Face app or whatever, to where you can put your face on an actor's body or whatever. That's, I mean, the fact that it's become to an app level is really dangerous. So I mean, yeah, it's not a good thing.
Kendo, what are your thoughts on deepfakes?
I think Kendo's been deepfaked.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I'll share this then. There's a new deepfake right now, and it says Rogue One CGI Tarkin and Leia improved via deepfake. So I like deepfakes for stuff like this, but I also hate them. The reason I love them is because they look incredible when well done.
Yeah.
But I also hate them because they show us something we should have, but we don't. So, folks, right here on screen, you're looking at the original Grand Moff Tarkin versus the deepfake Grand Moff Tarkin, and they're both realized in CGI from the film Rogue One. Now, clearly, nothing's going to look better than Peter Cushing on set. Nothing's going to look better than people acting against other actors.
Yeah,
But-
and also this is a picture, and like literally, I mean, to do a picture is easier than to do like motion, than to do an actual video. So
I watched this earlier today, and I like this, and it makes me wonder, is Disney just going to stop putting all this money into CGI and start using these deepfake people? Because we're getting better results than the big budgeted films. We're talking, a guy and a laptop. I don't know what the system is or the programs that they use for all this stuff, but we're talking a handful of people that are making something that looks photo real and better than what's in the cinema. So do you guys ever get kind of bummed out when you look at this and go, oh, we can deepfake Alden Ehrenreich out of Solo and put Harrison Ford in there, and then you just don't have this movie with Harrison Ford and you feel kind of bummed out?
yeah, because I mean, that's
I think
that's
it's
an
dangerous
option.
territory.
Do what now?
So I think it's
You
kind
cut
of
out,
dangerous
Kendo.
territory to be like, or as we. I was gonna say, I think it's dangerous territory as we coined it on the. That's the thing, is like once you let that cat out of the bag, and the horse is out of the barn for Dion, where does it stop? It's like no actor has ever really gone. Well, I mean, yeah, no one's ever really gone. Fuck you, JJ. But that's just the thing. It's like we're into this if we're getting in that territory, we can get all these actors that are no longer with us and start sticking them into movies and making new movies with them. And I don't know how I feel about that.
There's an ethical dilemma there that I'm with you. I don't know how I feel, but I will play devil's advocate on the other side. And it's cool that your favorite fictional characters that are so strongly associated with one actor, there's a way for them to continue doing it. So I get all the weirdness and all that stuff. And that's where I actually fall for my opinions on these things. But as a fan, it is really cool to see Harrison Ford playing Han Solo in a really shitty movie. Not because it's a shitty movie, but like it shows you how much of that movie was missing because he's not playing the character. But we live in a world where theoretically somebody for a hobby can go do this and then release it online. And hopefully
yeah, but also like actually this is a really horrible, when you actually think about it, this is a really horrible fucking idea, because let's say an actor does this like they do it like at the peak of their their popularity, and they get scanned. They have their voice done, the whole 9 yards, and they're in a computer as that age forever, or as that age forever in their thing. And say they do a franchise or whatever, they can be brought back to do they can be brought back at that age to do that franchise forever in that certain age they are. And they can be put in other movies as well for just what, like, I mean, even hell, if this technology were a little older now and it started a little earlier, they could have made movies like this during the pandemic, where they could have just done CG and animated a bunch of actors, and we could have got 10 movies come out where the actors didn't really have to be anywhere. So I mean that might happen again, where like, I mean, actors may just be able to license their faces out now and have them put on deep fake models or whatever, and they don't really have to leave their houses anymore. They can just make money off that and license things out that way. That's
what I'm waiting for to happen, and I don't like that, but I'm waiting for Disney to start buying up the likenesses of these actors and just paying through the nose for them to own them in perpetuity. Because with the way technology is, you can make anything quickly, you can manipulate things quickly, and it sucks. And remember, folks, I don't want these things to happen that we're talking about. No. But there is a world where any generic 6'2" white guy that has a right build can be put in a costume, and then all of a sudden Han Solo is played by Harrison Ford again. It's a weird thing. And it almost it brings up so many ethical questions, like the value of an actor versus the value of this versus the value of another person. There's so many different things that you have to ask yourself.
Yeah, I mean, like, licensing somebody's face. Like, what if they have a particular like body model that they use or whatever for their stuff, and you have to ask them for their hours and and like their rate and things like that, and then maybe these actors get maybe there's certain FX houses they only want to use for their stuff because they do the best job or something. Then it's a whole separate. It's not a whole separate industry, but it's a whole thing that has to be done aside from that. But there are good and bad sides to it, because once again, like, say an actor gets too old or is too frail and they want to, they want a younger version of themselves in a new movie, they could get that. They could license that out or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I don't know, it's weird. And also with remakes and things like that, you could remake them with the same actor. I mean, with the same actor, the same age, and nothing would really change. It gets awkward, and it's just a weird thing to think about, that like you guys have said, nobody's ever really going to die, and we'll be able to we're getting to a point where if like current actors get scanned now and future ones get scanned all the way through time, then nobody will ever really be dead, and you'll just have like just a website or a thing or a machine to spin and be like, oh, I want this particular actor for this thing, and like, oh yeah, we can get the digital stuff, we can put them in these clothes and this setting and whatever, and we can light them properly, and then just pop the just like voila, they're in the movie. And they'll have it to where they'll have their voice patterns worked out as well too, or they'll sound exactly the way they're supposed to. It's going to be really weird.
It's just a road we should not go down. Somebody should stop them and say, look, this is a bad idea, because the problems and or the ethical issues outweigh any of the things. It's like in Jurassic Park, the scientists were too busy trying to do it. They didn't stop and think, should they, or whatever the line goes. I'm sure somebody will correct me, but I know what I mean. And that's just, I don't see how there's any positive to this. Yeah, I get it. I can admit that when I watched Rogue One, I thought it was cool that Tarkin was in that scene, because Tarkin would have been there. Did I think it was cool that they Tarkined Peter Cushing into the movie to an extent? No. I was just like, that guy's been dead for a while. Why is he in this movie? So it's like, there's too many problems and or ethical issues. Like, I get Jeff's argument about how cool is it, you're seeing your favorite actor in the movie. So like, instead of the Solo movie with Alden Third Reich, we got, what's his name? We actually get Harrison Ford, and it's like, okay, that's kind of cool that they were able to, euthanize Harrison Ford and he's in the movie. So that's great. But at the same time, it's kind of like,
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
who doesn't want to be younger?
No, he was euthanizing him. He was just making him younger. I don't know what you're talking about, Jeff.
Yeah,
it's spelled Youthenize, euthanize.
Yeah, dude, come on. They're just
euthanize if you're Joe Pesci.
They're just making him younger. That's all they're doing. I don't know why you're so against euthanization, Jeff. Why are you against euthanization, Jeff? What's a big deal about that? Jeez.
Because Jack Kevorkian hurt me personally.
You
guys remember Dr. Jack Kevorkian?
Yeah.
Oh god, my cousin
him in a movie.
My cousin ran into him once because my cousin worked for Target. No, but my cousin worked for Target, and he would they're out of Minneapolis, I believe, and so that's where Jack Kevorkian was, and he was off doing stuff like at a different store because he had to travel for that job. So, yeah. So
I think what was it? Al Pacino played him in a HBO movie. It's weird.
That with the deepfake stuff, though, I do, I can have my fanboy fun for a moment, but I do find it to be too bizarre because it's like Jurassic Park. Yeah, we can, but should we? I guess at the end of the day, no, we shouldn't do these things. It's unnatural. It makes you question a lot of things, but it's so natural to see. With Star Wars, it's the only one that I think it doesn't feel odd to me. I know it's hypocritical, and I don't want these things to happen. Like, I'm very against it, but with the way the fans are doing it with Star Wars, it's photoreal, and it's like, holy shit, this is what would actually look like if it happened. So it's almost like I'm imagining this other world that I'll never get to live in.
Because here's the thing, like, that brings the other layers into it too. Is like, all that was in, what Rogue One did is a deep fake. That's all that is. They got other actors who had similar facial structure to the people they were looking for, and then CGI'd the other face. That's what a fucking deep fake is. And so it brings that other layer of the question of like, should we be doing it? Okay, well, whether we don't really get a say because the studios are making those decisions, whether we, the fans, like it or want it or feel okay about it or not. So then you add that extra layer, though. If the studios are going ahead and doing this without asking the questions of whether or not they should, without asking the fans whether or not we want this or feel like it's a respectful way to handle these characters and actors that we love, and then on top of it, they're not even doing it right.
No.
The better technology is out there to do this better. They, of course, have access. If Joe Schmo on the internet has access to it, they have access to it.
Of course.
So once again, it begs the question, why are the studios feeding us something they tell us we want and aren't even bothering to do it well?
Here's a question since you act. How far do you think they're off? If this technology becomes the thing that we're just, hypothetically discussing, what do you think of the world's first digitally created actor that they license out? Like, that's a weird. I don't.
Imagine this: the world's first digitally created movie. Forget and like it's all created in a computer over a period of like maybe 3 years, where they just scan people in, put them onto virtual stick models and have them walk through sets. Because then you can get any camera angle you want whenever you want to.
Here's the only thing you
got to worry about then is like what audio mixing in the end of it, and that's really not a big deal.
The only way I'm okay with this is if studios do this because they realize it's the way to get around cancel culture. Oh, you can't cancel our movie for casting the wrong actor if there isn't an actor in it. We just made somebody up. So
no, there isn't. There is an actor in it because they've scanned somebody. It is an actual person.
Well, there's supposed to be a body and a basis and whatnot. But the thing is, you're not going to get credited. Then it's no different than mocap for video games. Actors who go like, yeah, when you actually do Cyberpunk and you build Keanu Reeves the character, that means something. But an actor who they use for mocap for a video game, that's not a credit. That's not a whatever. They're not getting bumped up as an actor. They're just a bot.
Let me ask this question too. Mm-hmm. What's going to stop them from copy pasting actors for certain demographics? Now, hear me out. Hold on.
No, you're right.
When I was in high school,
you're right.
There was a Sunny D commercial with a white family, and it's the premise that they're going to a soccer game. They make specific jokes and shit. I swear I once changed the channel to BET. It was the same commercial, the same music, the same sets, the same costumes with a black family.
That's the thing they do in advertising.
No, I know that. What I'm saying is, like, how many steps are we away from all of a sudden going, oh, this demographic thinks James Bond should be Hispanic. So you'll have, like, let's say they buy the rights to Sean Connery, but then they're like, well, this many people want a Hispanic James Bond. So they just digitally make Hispanic James Bond. It's just a color. It's going to feel so.
Well, no, then they get a scan of Danny Trejo and put him in, in that position.
Well, I mean, they could just also, make the movie where he goes under some kind of like plastic surgery and becomes Mexican because, it worked when they, did You Only Live Twice and they made him Japanese.
Oh yeah. That worked so well, dude. He looked entirely Japanese.
Yeah.
On a slightly
I
serious note for a second, and then I will totally butt out of your podcast. I just wanted the reality that brings up, Jeff, that you bring up is then what you have is a completely different medium between a Hollywood picture and an independently made movie with real actors. Then it's interesting because now you don't have it's no longer this one-to-one thing where, like, independent and low budget movies are just people trying to get in to become this next thing. Now you have the medium of old school filming actors doing things that's a completely different medium than mainstream Hollywood. And that actually gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't necessarily make one of those things go away. It just creates a new medium in the art form, if that makes sense.
It does. Now, to our friend Wheezy Bird, I'll be reading your super chat when we move into that topic because that's a perfect transition. But our friend Fook Google 2 says on deepfakes, very bad. Imagine for diversity putting an Elliot Page into 1977 Star Wars Luke or a Chinese actor on top of David Carradine in Kung Fu. I didn't even read your super chat before I made the point about what if they just have a palette swap for different demographics. I don't like that, Fook Google 2, because then you're going to have justification for fucking with the past because, oh, hey, by today's standards or this or that, this was offensive. So it's Frankenstein's monster. I think if the technology could be killed, it should, even though it's cool and can do these great things. I think in the wrong hands, it'll be ruined for everyone.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah, it needs to die. It's been a fun little joke, and 2020 is almost over. So just kill it. Just kill it.
Yeah, and it'll fall in the wrong hands because it always does.
It always does. It always does.
So, guys, let's move on away from deepfakes because there are all sorts of things to talk about. First off, everyone seems to be hyped for this little game called Cyberpunk. I could play into the joke. Yeah, I got a copy coming tomorrow, so I'm buying into the hype too. I'm there. Now, when a big video game comes out, many things happen to me. I get excited, I get anxious, I get ready to play the game. But the one thing I've never done in the lead up to a video game is read an article about glitches that include the penis. So, do you guys want to hear the latest Cyberpunk news and why our show is titled Dicks Out for Cyberpunk?
Oh, God, yes,
sure,
please.
Let's hear all about the cyber penis.
Now, folks, if you're worried about us talking about all the Disney stuff, we're covering that right after this. So get ready to talk about all the Disney news. As Jesse can attest, the minute that news broke, I pivoted the entire show and changed everything. So just hold your horses. We're going to get to it in a moment because I got a lot to say, including what our friend the screen just jumped on me. Who had just posted that earlier? Wheezy Bird. So yes, Wheezy Bird. We'll be talking about that in just a moment. Now, the deepfake stuff was fun. The Cyberpunk stuff is funny. So you guys want to hear a little bit about Cyberpunk? Because normally Cyberpunk is going to be like, oh, it looks great or it looks bad. We'll talk about Screen Rant having the world's dumbest take. But anyway, Cyberpunk 2077 has some hilarious bugs, including penis clipping. So there's a lot of glitches that are getting attention for Cyberpunk, but there's one that's on social media that's very not safe for work. So I'm not going to show this one on the stream. But basically, the character can't keep it in their pants. If you choose to give your character a penis, it can clip outside of their trousers and wiggle around for a bit. It seems like quite a few people have encountered this glitch. But apparently removing and re-equipping your trousers can solve the equation. I don't want the equation solved. I'm going to spend $60 on a video game. I want my dick out.
I want to rock out my cock out. God damn it.
If I have the right to expose my penis in the cyberpunk world, I'm going to exercise it because they gave me the skill, they gave me the ability, and I think it's disingenuous not to use it.
Fucking finally, real power fantasy. Let's go.
Hammond Cyberpunk 2077. Yes.
I'm just ready like I'm gonna document all the glitches. Any glitch I run into, I'm gonna fucking record and make a compilation and get 12 million YouTube views because people are like, "Oh, I can't wait to watch the glitches."
Yeah,
But no,
who doesn't want to run around with their dick just flopping around? I mean, that's like the dream. I think maybe.
maybe I it's my reality. I live in California, I can do anything I want. So
That's true.
now there are other glitches that I just thought I'd share briefly because everyone seems to be excited about this game except for a couple sticks in the mud. And you know, if you want to be a big old stinker, that's fine, but don't shit on everyone else's fun. That's why I talked about the Mandalorian the way I did. Did I like the episode with Baby Yoda getting the name in Ahsoka? Fuck no. Talked about it, moved on. Next week, liked the episode, talked about it, moved on. So I get about letting people have fun. There's something to be said about, you know, wanting to make a, you know, send a message with that.
Yeah, there was a whole group who got mad at it and said, "Don't buy it because it makes us look bad." It's like, shut the fuck up, please. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, people just need to chill out. It's getting too involved on social media because I know we're going to talk a little later in the show about how Facebook's getting broken up and stuff like that when we take it to serious subjects. But for now, we're going to keep it fun. So we're looking at the Cyberpunk glitches. I thought I'd share a couple because this article showcased a few that we can show here on the channel. So I will never progress in Cyberpunk 2077 because I can't stop watching every single driver slowly crash into this one barricade and then yell at me about it. So I'll share this with you real quick. It's pretty funny. Look, right here. They just keep the fucking barricade. Now it wants to freeze on me, so I can't show more of the footage. So yay me! But as you can see what I mean, like there's that glitch. So that's fun, right? Remember when we used to bitch back in the day? It's like, oh, this game had a breaking glitch.
Wait, hold on. Does anybody remember? I think it was Halo 2 or 3 with the super jumps, where if you hit certain spots, you would like get launched like off the damn map. Those were fun glitches. Where are those things?
Yes. Not all glitches are made equal. Some of them are more fun than others.
That's true.
This is one of those things where you're like, please do not put the patch out. We do not need this patched. I want to see these people crash into barricades, yell at me. I want to be run down the street. My cock just randomly pops out of my pants. That's what I need in my video game.
This is the best PR move ever. Like, don't fix it for like 6 months. Say you're trying to, and don't. Because you're going to get so many videos on the internet about it. Plus, people are going to want to play the game and buy it because of this. Don't fix it. It's the best thing you can do.
When they say guys' dicks have a mind of their own, this game proves that's true.
This is the most forward-thinking game, not about progressive in terms of politics, just it's actually accurate to how real physiology works because I know I make all of my decisions with that. So now that you can in this video game, just makes me like it because it's that much more realistic. Exactly. Yeah. Now, there's more glitches. Let's laugh at this glitch for a moment. So apparently because nothing wants to load because I'm on the air, shit just falls from the fucking sky on you. Like,
so it's Goat Simulator.
It's pretty much it's pretty Goat Simulator. So let's let this load for a second, folks. I apologize. No thanks. I'll keep blocking the ads. Eat dick. You're a gamer. But yeah, back here we go. So let's watch shit just fall from the fucking sky.
Jesus.
The tank just randomly falls. Fine. You want a complete game. I get it. You don't want to pay for DLC. I get it. But
it's not Goat Simulator. This is just Bill and Ted 3.
This is Bill and Ted 3. I feel like we should give CD Projekt Red a thank you because these glitches are game breaking in quotations, but they're funny as shit. So like you're gonna go play a fun game and laugh the whole time.
Right.
Yeah. Like it's kind of like they unintentionally created a Saints Row game.
Yeah.
Oh, which isn't a bad thing, you know. But yeah, once again, this is
Saints
probably
Row games are fun.
Yeah, this is probably the best PR that they're gonna get all year, and like this will just sell more games. Just keep doing. I mean, once again, if the glitches are bad, where they like are stopping gameplay, or whatever, that's bad. But like if they're just physical ones like this that happen every once in a while, just let it go, man. People will make compilation videos on the internet. Once again, it'll just sell more games, man.
Well, not everyone is having fun because, of course, Screen Rant's going to try to be the wet blanket that is Screen Rant. Now, this isn't really Screen Rant being douchey. It's just what they want to present. So, apparently, some people are upset with the game's graphics on PS4 and Xbox One. I get it. I mean, we're in a weird transition period with game generations to where Cyberpunk will get released on both consoles. And if you buy it on Xbox, you'll get the free upgrade and all that stuff. But we're still only getting a last-gen game. This is a game made for the PS4 and the Xbox One and the PC or whatever. Like, this wasn't, we don't have the PS5 and the Xbox Series X versions available yet. So I'm not going to make excuses for a game. The glitches need to get fixed. But at the end of the day, I think people are being a wet blanket just to jump in to be a wet blanket because it's popular and they want their voices heard.
Well, yeah, and it's also Screen Rant. Fuck those guys and everything they stand for. But once again, the game has just come out and people are disappointed by the visuals. How about you give it like a month and then come back? This game's been delayed like 4 times. So what did you expect? Is the gameplay good? Is it a compelling story? Can you do a bunch of fun shit and is it basically GTA but in 2077? If that's the case, fucking sign me up. I'll buy it right now. That's all I really want.
Especially if the cars fly.
Yeah. I can't wait to play this game personally. Like, I'm gonna go out.
That's all I want. Just give me GTA in the future with flying cars and I don't know, changeable arms with machine guns, and I'll be fucking happy.
The only thing I wish
the real thing we're missing here is what is Anita's thoughts on dicks just flopping out all over the place?
Yeah, I know now. Neil Druckmann just got a huge raise and a promotion because his game, Last of Us 2, that everyone talked about, just nobody gave a shit a couple weeks in after it was, I don't know, there were so many copies available. They dropped the price quickly. Of all the big games around the holidays, it had some of the most severe discounts, even though it's a AAA title that's an exclusive to the PlayStation. And then we're getting to the end of the year awards, and we're getting to the end of the year, and everyone can only talk about Cyberpunk. Now, you might say, Jeff, it's the newest, most popular game. Of course, everyone's going to talk about it. That's a valid point. But I do remember quite a few people going, oh, Last of Us 2 is Game of the Year in July. Wait till Cyberpunk comes out. And now it's out, and people are having that conversation. So I don't even think Last of Us 2 was ever in the genuine conversation for Game of the Year. You had Ghost of Tsushima. You had other games come out that, personally, maybe I find them better. But at the end of the day, we got ourselves into this situation of politics over gaming and all this stuff. So hopefully Cyberpunk will just cut through the bullshit, and people will just have fun with it and not worry about it.
Yeah. I hope. Yeah, I hope it's a fun game. I hope it's worth it's worth it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you know. And the Happy Plague Doctor, yes, I wish it was in third person as well. Then I would have been really excited because first person's awesome. It'll be like I'm living in the movie Akira, but whatever.
Yeah.
So let's read a couple of our super chats, and then we're going to start talking about our big topics for tonight. So, folks, thank you for everything. Make sure you guys are hitting that thumbs up button and sharing all over social media that we are live and letting everybody know that Thursday night belongs to the bullshitters.
Yeah.
So, before we had any of the news about the Disney stuff drop, guys, what do you think some of the bigger news stories this week were like? Was there anything that caught your eye?
Not really. I can't think of anything. I'm just trying to ride out till the holidays over, man. I'm just trying to buy gifts and make sure I have everything. And
at this point, I think we're just trying to kill the clock out. We're just trying to run down the road of the year. Yeah. It's like we're just gonna keep the ball on the ground. We're not gonna try anything daring. We just want to get to the fucking end of the year and just be done with it.
Exactly.
Okay, so that filler question is now complete. So let's start talking about, no, this is not made for kids, and it never has been. Stop asking.
Yeah, the dildo industry says.
Yeah. Now, so because I did ask people not to send in super chats about the Moist game for Brandon Moist, I do think it's fair that people wanted to send some respects to the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey before the show ever started. Just did say RIP Brandon, and then Cesare Japan wanted to show some respect for Brandon as well. So, folks, thank you very much. Just send your regular messages in, anything about him. We just don't want to capitalize on any kind of tragedy or anyone to whatever. So thank you, though. But Cesare Japan does send in one, very generous one. He says, seeing how many RPGs like Cyberpunk 2077 and Dungeons & Dragons have gotten flack for being non-inclusive, I have to wonder if the ridiculous concept of imagination has fallen to the wayside. Now, Cesare Japan, do you have to wonder that, or is this more of a rhetorical question? And you definitely know the answer, because this is a situation where the word acting has become irrelevant because they covered it a couple weeks ago. Jesse's talking about some singer that had an autistic girl in her movie, and people took offense because the actress wasn't the right kind of autism. Suffered from
the actress isn't autistic, and the person, the type of autism that she's displaying is such that a person who actually is that level of functioning can't comfortably act on a set.
So all they're doing is trying to tell a story about a character with autism, so they get an actor to play it. We live in this world where people are getting upset because the actors aren't like the real role. It's like, dude, Sam Neill is not a scientist.
But the level of acting is like
based on all that, Leonardo DiCaprio should have been canceled a long time ago.
In a wheelchair. Because at least it should be someone differently able. They understand. Like, no, it doesn't. They don't understand any better what it's like to not have legs.
But even then, as long as you're respectful to the source material, the person, and the story, and everything's going fine. The fact that there's a small fucking minority of people who voice their opinions doesn't mean shit. Make your content and move on.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
So yeah, Cesare Japan, I'm with you. Imagination has fallen by the wayside because even in something that isn't, well, acting is imagination based, but something is like direct as, oh, this is my profession and this is the word we use, because we can't use that anymore to describe the profession. We have to change it. So yeah, imagination's dead, Cesare Japan. All of it's dead. It's not even being cynical. It's being realistic. So our friend Dean Domino, first off, Cesare Japan, thank you very much for that though. Dean Domino, rest in peace, Brandon. Thank you, Dean. Dean Domino also says, not sure if you guys knew this, but Studio Sunrise, the animation for Cowboy Bebop, also did Batman the Animated Series episodes. Perrault Le Fou was a tribute to it. Oh, I did not know that was one of the studios, Dean Domino, that did Batman the Animated Series, but I am friends. I could say friendly enough. We talk at parties. We hung out multiple times. He's my friend. A guy that worked on the show. And it's cool to hear stories about that.
It's finally happened, people. It's finally happened. Jeff has been out in California enough that he's name dropping now. Jesus.
Yeah.
To be fair, I hung out with this dude. I hung out with this dude. It's Russell. You know Russell. You hung out with him last year.
Did I?
I did. Last year. When I went to that, before anything ever happened, when I lived with Jesse for that month and we went to the party at the listener's house, I met the dude there. We've been friendly ever since. So he's been on the show.
Sounds like a fucking made up story.
I've never met anyone named Russell ever.
I mean, you might have,
but maybe once.
I'm waiting for you to go vegan next. God damn it! If you do, I don't know.
Next time we all hang out, we're like, yeah, let's go get something to eat. And fucking Jeff just shows up with all these fucking lentils. It's like, gosh damn it, why,
Kendo?
And
can I put your mind at ease?
Vegan beer and all. You can try, but right now I'm pretty wound up.
I ate White Castle for lunch.
Oh, good. Vegan White Castle?
It's White Castle. White Castle.
No, was it vegan White Castle? Damn it! Answer the question. You're dodging it.
No, there's no such thing as vegan White Castle. It was White Castle.
I don't know. I don't live in California, Jeff. There might be. Okay, I don't know.
It's frozen White Castle.
Okay, I'll take your word for it now.
You were channeling your inner Kendo, because for the last week I've tried to go to White Castle for my cheat meal, and the one where I live has been fucking closed. It's been like all dark, all blacked out, fucking cones in the drive-thru. It only opens for like 2 hours in the afternoon when I'm not able to go to it. I don't know what's happening. I am panicked. It's like all I've wanted to do is have my cheat meal this week at fucking White Castle, and I can't.
I just hope Jeff isn't getting vegan White Castle. That's all I'm hoping for right now.
Yeah, dude,
I might lose my shit because I can't handle any more bullshit in 2020 right now. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
The part is, when you see me, you'll be worried that was the case because I've lost a bunch of weight. Because I'm not eating as much, I'm just walking to the grocery store a bunch. But I'm not eating anything like soy filled. It's like, what'd you eat? I ate White Castle and a turkey sandwich. What did you drink? Beer.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Because if you say,
well, now I've got a different worry.
You've gone vegan, I might lose my shit. I'm just saying, okay? I can't handle any more in 2020. I can't take it. All right.
You don't have to worry about anything. I'm going to be okay. I hope.
I don't know, man. Tom Hanks lost all that weight in Philadelphia.
I'll never live there. Don't worry. So, no, Jeff is not soy, Emperor Billy Ritchie. That hurts. White Castle is not soy. It's what you crave. It's like Bronda, the first mutilator. It's what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
I've been fucking craving for like a week, but mine is all weird now, and I don't like it. I can't handle this. It's a fucking cheat meal.
I just live on like
one cheat meal. Dude, if I eat Papa John's, I feel like my intestines will explode.
You might lose more weight that way.
You also
No,
die.
I won't.
So
Yeah, and I'll lose a lot of self-respect. I'm like, I knew I shouldn't have eaten this Papa John's. It tastes like racism and cannonballs.
Dude, outside of his bullshit, his pizza blows.
It really
does.
does.
It's
I don't know
not
how you
that
live in a
good.
fucking castle with cardboard pizza crust.
Well, because he started delivering pizzas in his fucking Firebird in like 1982 or whatever that goddamn commercial says it was. Fuck him.
I'm not a fan.
Okay, Miss Ninja Julian, a third party, has said, "I live in California. There is no vegan White Castle." Thank you, because Jeff wasn't going to tell me the truth over here. Jesus,
Yeah.
I had to learn from Miss Ninja
Objection.
Julian over here.
Julian, I just
The
want to thank
witness is
you.
hostile or whatever it is. Move to strike.
Also, Miss Ninja Julian, I did see you pop up in the chat. We didn't do a meme of the week because of Brandon, so we'll bring that back next week. So just the game, no super chats about him, but Showtime was always.
We had Simple Zach on board, and there were some salvos to be fired on that one.
That's true.
So, Tim Riggs, you don't have to worry about me ever going vegan. Last night we had pork chops. So,
Wait, no. Somebody that's WCW 2793 has the best one. Nick Kendo, do the blood test for the thing on Jeff. Just be sure to have the flamethrower already.
That's right. That's the virus talking. Move up his.
Goddamn, good call on that one. We fucking love that movie.
Where's Dion? The one time I need Dion to back me up, he's not here.
It's probably because you turned him vegan too, and you killed him to
God
cover
damn it.
the truth.
I killed him and turned him into a vegan cheeseburger. There you go, Kendo.
Damn it, Kendo, we need to blow up the camp right now.
That's right. Like I said, we just need to burn it all and start over in the morning.
Yeah, we do.
Doesn't Dion call himself Beef Neck on his Facebook profile picture? So there you go.
Wait, I thought that was his secret Tinder name.
I mean, it's on Facebook, so it's not a good secret.
Swipe right for Dion.
Yeah, swipe right. That needs to be a T-shirt. Swipe right for Dion. Speaking of Dion and stuff, folks, weird transition, but in a little bit we're going to be showing the Fandom Menace. We're going to be showing the cover for the Day One exclusive High Council Stealing Solo Second Chance, and I can make an announcement because we have a big name on board to work on it. So when we get a little closer, we'll be talking about that, and I'll be showing the black and white line art. And somebody that worked on Cyberfrog has agreed to work on this with us.
Yeah, make sure everybody's sharing those links so we can get that watch now number up.
Yeah. And let me also drop the link to sign up for it real quick, because folks, you're not signing up for anything outside of a notification to know when things go live. So that is why we keep letting you know, because so many people didn't know when we did it. Now we do. Now you do. There you go.
Yeah. Also, that link is in our all links on our social media as well. So the top of that. So if you're listening to this episode later on, it is in our links in all of our bios and all of our social media. So there you go.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll share that. Help us spread the word. We usually have that rule. When we hit 1,000, we'll instantly share everything. But still slower because it's holidays and shit. So we get it. But we're almost there. So keep telling your friends, and they'll tell two friends, and so on and so on.
That's right.
So let's start talking about. Well, we'll wait for something a little more serious. Let's talk about the Disney news, because I forgot to actually put this in the show notes. So, guys, earlier, Deadline had an announcement. Disney to launch 20 Marvel and Star Wars TV series over the next few years.
20?
20. Here, I'm putting it on screen so people don't think we're exaggerating.
Deadline.
A lot of shit.
God.
And by the way, folks, anyone out there, just because Deadline might post whatever identity politic articles or something they may not like, I hate to say it, but Deadline and Variety and Hollywood Reporter, when you get casting and news stories from them, it's the official story. So yes, they put out a lot of garbage, but don't trust we got this covered or some of these other bullshit things.
Yeah, that's true. These publications are ingrained in the industry, and they know best, unfortunately. So
yeah. Well, the nice thing though is we know exactly what we're getting, so we can't. They can't flip this on us. So we're going with the official press release, so we can form an opinion based on exactly what's happening, and people can't call it out and go, "Well, you guys are just speculating." We're talking about exactly what they're telling us. So, Disney will massively ramp up the volume of Marvel and Star Wars series on its Disney Plus streaming service. Kareem Daniel, chairman of the Media and Entertainment Distribution for the Walt Disney Company, revealed Wednesday during the Disney Investor Day presentation that it would launch roughly 10 Marvel series, 10 Star Wars series, and 15 live-action animation and Pixar series over the next few years. With these Disney Plus originals, along with the theatrical releases and library titles, we will be adding something new to the service every week, he said. 15 all-new Disney live-action, Disney animation, and Pixar features will also be released directly to Disney Plus.
They know that there's been a vaccine for the coronavirus, right? They're aware of that, aren't they?
And this shit's gonna be, the theater industry isn't gonna be dead forever, ever. It's just gonna take. Sadly, AMC or people that don't have the right money might go out of business. But
yeah, true. But it's one of those things where yeah, and it's one of those things where like they're really like, you know, banking hard on Disney Plus right now, but like is it gonna be worth the money later on with like all these shows and everything in development and all this other stuff that they have now? I mean, when people go back to the parks and stuff like that, are they gonna have, I guess, the time or whatever to, you know, make the shows and stuff? I mean, is it, I don't know. It's just hard to tell, and I just don't care anymore about Disney Marvel. I'm done. I watched Endgame, and that's it, man.
Well, Nick, I think you are the perfect person to respond to these stories because you're not a normie. You know the movies, you know the characters, you bought in, and you were there for it. But at the same time, all good things come to an end, and your patience with it is over. I think that reflects a lot of people. As somebody who is a diehard fan or has been for decades of this shit, who's dedicated themselves to wanting to draw comics and be into this industry and make these connections and do this stuff, you can turn me off from these movies. Then I think you've made a mistake. And every week that they want to announce more, I just wish I could grab Disney. Walt, well, you're dead. Let's grab Mickey Mouse by the head and say, listen, Mickey, give us a fucking break from this. Stop announcing shit so early and then never following through, or don't announce so much stuff. It's so dense that we can't even get excited. Like, this announcement included an Alien TV show, 2 Star Wars TV shows. Like, we know what they fucking are. There's so much announced at these big summits. That's why when people say E3 being dead is a good thing, I don't agree. Because when the studio has or Comic-Con being dead, I don't like those things being dead because those are big multimedia events that every person in the industry that wants to be a part of has to come to it. They have to make a presentation. They have to do these things. When you look at Comic-Con coverage or E3 coverage, you get all of it. When you get these Xbox and Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, Treehouses, Directs, and all these fun things, you're only getting that brand. You're only getting that one thing.
Yeah.
What they're doing here, I don't like it.
No, neither do I. And I agree with you. Yeah, it's much better than when all those companies are on equal footing with each other when they're at those big events like Comic-Con or whatever, because then attention is always given to the people who people want to see most. And this is really dense. 20 Marvel Star Wars TV series. I mean, like that's a lot, man. Yeah. There's a lot of content.
And Nick, the part that fucks my head up is the part where the guy says the 15 additional shows to that. It's just like, I get it.
So 35?
Yeah, because it's
that
10
Marvel,
so 10 Star Wars, and 15 live-action animation and Pixar series over the next few years.
Oh, Jesus, that's so much. Like, just the amount of pre-production work on all those things is insane, and the money they're going to pay the people and everything, like, that is so... And, like, yeah, like...
By the way, to the people in the chat...
over quality.
To the folks in the chat like Hunter Dvorak, I have that stance that I'm dying to talk about, so just be ready. I'm going to rail on the Star Wars show, some of the decisions they're making. Not because I'm an old man yelling at a cloud. It's because you keep contradicting Star Wars lore, and I'm fucking tired of it.
The fact that you keep breaking the fans of it who have been there a long time's brains, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know. It 35 shows and movies and things, like, oh, that is, and they're announcing it now. Like, that means
this here,
I don't know,
is the definition of throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Except for this is a lot of shit they're throwing at the wall.
This is no, Kenneth. This is a wall of shit. Is what it's become.
The shit wall.
The shit wall.
The shit wall.
This. Yes, the Schwal. That's what it is. Because I mean, that is so many things. 35. And all you're announcing it like that's literally a movie studio announcing the movies that are going to come out like next year. Hey, we got 18 movies coming out next year. Here are their names and like the title things. Like it's so strange to do that. That doesn't. I don't know. I'm done. I'm done with Disney. I'm beyond done with them. I'm glad I don't have to pay for Disney Plus, and even then I don't use it that much, so it doesn't matter.
So I'm with you about all of these things, but let's talk about what people are going to be getting with this. So first off, the Ahsoka show is officially confirmed, which is what people have been saying for months, that The Mandalorian Season 2 is the soft pilot for a lot of these things. So right now, we have the Ahsoka image in front of you right now, but we also have a series called Rangers of the New Republic. So let's talk about this one. So Rangers of the New Republic is a new original series set within the timeline of The Mandalorian coming to Disney+. So we had a backdoor pilot with the 2 Rebel Alliance pilots, the X-Wing guys. So Jesse, it seems like those guys are getting their own series. Remember the Asian guy that kept coming up?
Wow. Serious. So even that was a backdoor pilot.
That was a backdoor
pilot. Oh my god. There's so many.
But they did feel a little too long. That's why.
Disney, like the title of a porno. Backdoor pilot.
Yeah, Disney really loves their backdoor action a lot.
So there's that one. Then we also have Rosario Dawson coming back to play Ahsoka Tano and her live action series, which is not a surprise. Now, I am of the mind that Ahsoka should have died in Order 66. I don't think Dave Filoni bringing her back and constantly putting her in shows where she doesn't belong because she is supposed to have died. I don't dig that anymore.
Yeah, once again, like you said earlier, you're messing with the lore of it, and it doesn't make anything. I don't know why Dave Filoni has such a hard on for Ahsoka. Like, I don't get it
either, because she was like one of those disembodied voices at episode 9 when Rey was all the Jedi, and she was talking to her. So it's like that implies that she is deceased, and now it's like, no, she's back. She's back. It's forget what we told you before. This is something different. Swerve, bro. Ahsoka on a pole match, bro.
I need to get a forklift for Ahsoka Tano.
Oh, Ahsoka Tano on a fucking forklift match starring Kylo Ren versus Obi-Wan Kenobi. Sign me up. I'm actually now interested.
This is why we need. This is why celebrity boxing needs to come back.
Oh, I would love folks in the chat. Pitch your favorite celebrity boxing matches. Also, pitch a celebrity you'd like to knock the fuck out. Nick, you have a new celebrity, right? Or no, sorry, Kendo. It was you this week. Could you tell
Kendo's got a new one.
New Rob Zombie is?
Oh, Skip Bayless. Fuck that clown. Piece of shit talking smack on the Messiah like that. He can't. I ain't having it. That fucker. That was the worst way to start my day. Almost ruined my day off. Fuck you, Skip Bayless. Prick.
That man is a prick.
Oh, dude, when you get me to like Shannon Sharp, somebody I've hated for a very long time for no reason other than the fact that he was a very good player for the fucking Denver Broncos and helped them win a couple Super Bowls, that's telling you something. Skip, you made me you caused me to have sympathy and liking for a Denver Bronco. Fuck you, Skip Bayless. Fucking old bastard. I'd like to break his hip.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club, Kendo.
I ignored him, and I thought he was just a flapping head with no brain. And then the other day, I woke up. I'm like, it's my day off. I'm gonna have some coffee. It's gonna be nice out. Gonna do some stuff. And then a video popped up in my suggested feed when I was trying to watch other funny shit from football YouTubers I actually enjoy. And it was Skip and Shannon talk about Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, well, I have to watch this because that is the chosen one, and I must watch what they have to say about the chosen one. And
Kendra, you know why Skip is coming after your boy, right?
Because he's got no brain and a tiny dong.
I mean, yes, but they benched the former person that he had, his tunnel vision, his psychosis about. He finally got benched. They finally benched Wentz so he could stop getting his panties in a wad trying to prove to nobody that Dak Prescott was the better quarterback. Dak's injured. Now Wentz is benched. He has nothing to bitch about on that front anymore. So he had to go find a new asinine argument to try to pitch to the general public. So he looked for the biggest, stupidest argument he could make, and he went with that one. That's what he does.
Yeah. And he attacked the Messiah, and I was not going to stand for that. Skip, if I ever see you You're going down hard.
I kind of always thought the Messiah would look a little cooler when he ran.
I mean, he's won a Super Bowl for his team. I don't remember Carson Wentz winning a Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles.
I remember Carson Wentz being the Eagles' starting quarterback right now, so
That's
you want
true.
to go tit for tat here, you can go for it. You win.
That's fine. Jalen Hurts replaced always Hurts.
God damn.
At least my quarterback didn't injure himself doing a QB sneak. But hey.
I mean, that's fine. He hurt himself doing a lot of other things. Mostly looked like a broke dick Prince Harry. Remember when he didn't win the Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles?
As seasoned and talented of a head coach running our franchise, we can't all be that lucky.
Remember, last time I checked, Doug Peterson is running your franchise as your coach, and he won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles.
Yeah, he got lucky his first couple seasons out. I'm not saying he's bad. I love Doug. I think he's great, but I think Andy Reid's a better coach. He is
a better coach.
He has the experience. He's weathered some tough shit on the field and off.
He loves cheeseburgers, and he dresses in red and looks like the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, and it's hilarious. And Patrick Mahomes is a really talented quarterback who looks retarded when he runs.
That's fine. He can look retarded and running all he wants as long as he just runs it back and we go back to back this year because he is the chosen one.
So, speaking of chosen ones, Kendo, thank you for teeing that up. Apparently, Darth Vader was meant to be the chosen one in the universe of Star Wars.
That's right.
Now, this is the one
to destroy the Sith, not join them.
Yeah, but he did not. Well, from a certain point of view. So now this is the one where I'm gonna complain because it's not about Hayden Christensen. It's not about making an Obi-Wan series. I'm one of those people who has softened on episode 3 and the prequels for the most part because the sequels really suck. So it's not as bad as we can get. But that being said, though, my love is always going to be for the originals. Always going to be for that first movie. And anything that contradicts and ruins that one, any retroactive changes, is always going to be problematic for me. And I'm intentionally using the word because I fucking hate it because I hate these changes. So Hayden Christensen is coming back to Star Wars. And that's not what's the problem. So the most beautiful thing of all is that Ewan McGregor called today that an Obi-Wan featurette during Disney Investment Day about the return of Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader. So here we go. This is just the official thing. It says Hayden Christensen returns as Darth Vader, joining Ewan McGregor and Obi-Wan Kenobi. The original series begins 10 years after the dramatic events of Revenge of the Sith and is coming to Disney+. Now, what they do also talk about in other places as reputable is how the show is going to have Darth Vader meet Obi-Wan Kenobi, which, as you guys know, definitely is not right. So,
no,
if they run into each other, that cancels the entire premise of a presence I've not felt since. So, Star Wars has always presented itself that when Obi-Wan and Vader fought, Obi-Wan left him to die, and they never saw each other again. Now he knows Darth Vader's out there. It's ignorant to think that he doesn't. He could feel it in the Force. All I'm getting at, though, is they have spent all of this time keeping them apart because that's how Star Wars lore works. But because it works, or it seems like a good idea for a TV show, they're going to break Star Wars continuity. Because, oh, nice.
Downstairs. That's nice.
So when you have Darth Vader, again, with Circle is now complete, when I left you, I was but the learner, now I am the master, he's not going to have changed anywhere between episodes 3 and 4. You know, he's going to get a little stronger and stuff, but he's not going to become this whole different thing. He's Darth Vader already. We know that. So anything that just challenges that or adds a little beat or ruins that moment is always going to piss me off. How do you guys feel about retroactive continuity for the sake of selling a streaming show?
It's bullshit. It's entirely bullshit.
It's fucking stupid. You're pissing on your own fucking property for the sake of trying to get viewers. And that's just sad.
Yeah.
yeah, and it was one of those things. I think I watched a video on why Darth Vader's hasn't upgraded his outfit or whatever. His armor's never upgraded or whatever. And they went into some lore and some comic books and things like that. And basically it was the Emperor didn't want to do it because he might get too powerful, and he wanted to kind of keep him clunky and moving that way, so this way he wouldn't ever move against him or things like that. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Why not do a show about about that, like Vader trying to rise up and never really getting ahead or something, where his armor's always fucked up and he's trying to get out of this, or I don't know, maybe something like that, or not. I don't know, something different would be good, because this idea of Obi-Wan and Vader meeting out of nowhere doesn't make sense. It's odd.
It is odd. And this isn't going to be a situation where, if you watch Rogue One, it's cool to see Darth Vader. You have a couple questions like, well, why didn't he use those powers on the Star Destroyer or this or that later on in the movie? Other questions get raised, but at the end of the day, it's a cool scene for just to be a cool scene, a little bit of fan service. What does Hayden Christensen coming back actually achieve? It's not about his acting ability. Darth Vader can be played by anyone. Me in peak physical condition would be a scary Darth Vader. I'm about as tall as David Prowse was. Can be just as scary. But I'm just a guy in a suit. I didn't create the mannerisms. I'm copying the mannerisms that David Prowse created. But Darth Vader is iconic for his voice. Mm-hmm. So Hayden Christensen is not James Earl Jones. He can't do the voice. They're not going to change James Earl Jones's performance. If you go back and watch Rogue One, they get the real guy, even though they don't modulate it right.
Oh, dude, I saw something horrible.
What did you think of that's horrible?
What if they go back and they, how at the end of Jedi, originally, Luke saw Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Vader, but it wasn't David Prowse, it was the other actor.
Yeah.
But they changed it and they put Hayden Christensen in. What if they go back and they pull out James Earl Jones' voice and it's all fucking Hayden Christensen doing the voiceovers? I will riot.
I probably would rage to death.
Jesus. Make sure you have your physical copies, people, so they can't do that.
Because that's what they're thinking.
Yeah. It's funny how people might think, well, guys, you're being hyperbolic, you're being a little extreme. That's the world we live in, though.
No. Yeah. Look at the changes Disney have made to their own movies that aren't Star Wars over the years. Especially when they've gone to Disney Plus, they've changed them, here and there with little bits and pieces. You think they're not going to do this? You think you think we're yelling at a cloud right now? No, we're not. They've done it before.
Yeah, dude, all bets are off at this point. We've seen how Lucas has dicked with the trilogy and all that stuff to tailor it to what I intended when I made this movie 30 years ago, but I couldn't do was have these two banthas fucking in the background. And then he goes and he puts them in there. It's like, you didn't really think about it. It's like, George, be honest. You didn't really think about that when you envisioned this to begin with. You might have, but you really didn't. And then he went and he put shit in there. And he put shit in there. And then we got McClunky. And we get all this other fucking dumb shit that they just keep piling in there because they want to tweak it and sell a new version. So you could say we're being hyperbolic. You could say we're making a slippery slope argument. But I would like to say that the precedent that has been set before us says they'll do whatever they can to these movies just to either sell another copy or update it. Because George went through Hayden's ass in the end of Return of the Jedi in the special edition. What makes you think that he won't turn around one day and just say, well, I really intended for Hayden Christensen's voice to be in it once I actually cast him as Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker in the prequel trilogy. It's like, you didn't, George. You didn't. But Disney made you.
Kendo, like V. James Baker says, they changed Boba Fett's voice.
Yeah.
Folks, Tamara Morrison playing Boba Fett, when you close your eyes, if you think of that was exactly what we're talking about. They have tricked you, or just intentionally done it, to make you think that that's been Boba Fett the whole time, when for a generation of people, he's not Boba Fett. That's not his voice. That's not how it goes.
Yeah.
Again, if you think Kendo and Nick are being crazy and this will never happen, it already exists in the world of Star Wars.
It does because there's almost like a false Mandela effect of these things happening. It's like, no, it's not like the the genie movie with the Shaq-it or whatever happened, and it's like, no, these things actually are there. Like, this is actually a thing, and they've done it before, and they've done it subtly to screw with you, and it's it's been happening for a while now.
Yeah, what they could do too is, like, if they really wanted to, like, fucking go all the way, they could, like, euthanize Hayden Christensen and make him fucking Jake Lloyd. And that would replace Jake Lloyd. Like, we gotta cut this guy off because we don't want to feed his addictions.
God, they might euthanize Jake Lloyd or Hayden Christensen. Yeah, that'd be weird. That'd be weird.
Yeah, There's all sorts of fucked up things they can do to this movie. And in 30 years, I will sit here and say I was fucking right when they replaced Hayden Christensen's voice over James Earl Jones.
And like the only evidence you'll have are like the VHS tapes of like the original trilogy that haven't been altered. That's it. You'll have to like find the TV, plug in the VCR, and show your grandkids. Like, this is the original bullshit right here.
All the shows, all the movies, 75,000 hours worth of stuff, all on this little mini compact slim blue disc thing. See it in 58 million K. Today, only available on digital download, and I'm like, wait a second. And the preview shows Hayden Christensen speaking to Luke as Vader, and it's like, motherfucker, I said that back in 2020, and then it's like me for 4 hours scrolling through all the previous episodes of the podcast to find instead of just messaging Jeff, who's now senile. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Who are you? What is your operating number?
How do you have this number?
Where's my family?
I don't know, Kendo. It's like, dude, we've been friends for 40 years. How could you have forgotten? I can't believe he's gone downhill.
Jeff's like, I slipped putting up a clock on the toilet seat. I did time travel. Do you want to go back?
Jeff, that was Back to the Future. You were watching Back to the Future.
That hurts. You would bring up that.
Whenever you ask Jeff who's the president, he always says Ronald Reagan.
The actor?
You ask him about his life, he's like, I used to be a spy for the British government.
Yeah, I worked for MI6, damn it. I drove Aston Martins. Like, no, Jeff, that was James Bond.
I fucked so many
women. Remembering the wrong stuff. Jeff goes see now all of his memories involve his favorite movies.
They lost me in Alcatraz.
It's like, my friend David Candino got shot in my apartment. I had to go to Beverly Hills to find out who did it. It's like, no, you were watching Beverly Hills Cop again, Jeff.
Dude, I actually
now Jeff may be one of our favorite Jeffs.
The fact that I got to spend my birthday going to Beverly Hills Cop locations really just
that was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah. So I can imagine when I'm older slipping into that mistake because I did spend my 32nd birthday looking for the Beverly Palm Hotel, but I shouldn't go there because, well, who's not allowed in.
Every time we see Jeff in the home, he's wearing a Detroit Lions varsity jacket and a Mumford t-shirt.
The fucked up part is I bought both of those.
Either that or a tailored suit, one or the other.
He's rolling around in his wheelchair in the home trying to stick bananas at people's wheelchair legs. It's like, where's the tailpipe? Where's the tailpipe? It's like, Jeff, it's a wheelchair. They don't have it. Hell, by then they might have tailpipes. Who knows?
So there was more than just Star Wars talk and news of the streaming stuff. And there was an Alien series in the works. Now, they're promoting this as one of the aliens' first times on Earth, which is inaccurate as we know. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, we all respect this franchise. Does the idea of an Alien TV series excite you after we've had the last two Alien films kind of fizzle out?
No. Because the last two are supposed to be prequels, and somehow the technology was better than the older ones. I don't know how the fuck that works. Ridley Scott, explain that to me, you jackass.
Prequel trilogy. Funny how that works. All these prequel movies, everything's way better than it was in the actual time that the originals took place.
That's why I respect Rogue One, because it looked like the original Star Wars. Like the technology was the same and everything. Like the aesthetic was there. I was like, okay, this works. Like I don't know how they can do that, but then these jackasses who have been doing these franchises for years can't do it. Can't take the time to do it. It's like, oh no, I need to pay my child support. I'll make 2 more movies. It's fine. It's like,
James
no,
Cameron say
good. Avatar 26.
So, do you guys think that this one's going to actually regain trust in the brand? Is what I'm trying to get at, because it sounds kind of repetitive, but think about it for a moment. Everybody just take a second, sit down and think about this. They make all these announcements for these new sci-fi series. Fans don't like it. They seem cynical. But what had the fans just been going through? So if you're a Star Wars fan and you hear this news of the Ahsoka show and this and that, and you go, I'm not interested in Disney Star Wars, and somebody goes, you're just a bitter old bitch. You go, did you not live through those last 3? Fuck you. So you have justification. Same thing with Alien is right in play, where we had 2 terrible Alien films. films. The franchise is nowhere near what it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, had what's his name done the remake of the third one, I think they would have been on a good track.
Oh, Blomkamp, yeah.
If they would have let him redo the third one, which that third one was horrible.
Oh yeah,
that fourth one is hilarious. That one is goddamn funny. It's hysterical. That one I like just for kicks. And then Ridley Scott's like, I'm gonna come back and do them right. It's like, no, even you can't do them right, you jackass. Like, you created this stuff and you can't even do it. Like, that's the what does that say about your skill and your drive and all this shit? Like, you don't have it. You lost it.
Yeah. What I think is funny about stuff like this is it just seems like it's like the wrong place, wrong time. Like, you know what would have been a great time and place to say we're going to make an Alien TV show? 1987. You know, when Alien was still a hot property before it got fucked up. Like, when would be a great time to have Star Wars TV shows, with the exception of mostly The Mandalorian? You know, in the 80s, when things were still like, when it was still a hot property, then you could have done it. And you probably would have had a lot of the people that were involved with it originally involved with it at the time, and it would have been good. It's like they're coming up with all this stuff. Like, hey, you know what would be great? Let's make all these TV shows based off of stuff that's going on right now that's kind of sucked lately. It's like Jeff said, the last two movies have been crap. Are we excited for this one? It's like if you go to a place to eat and they serve you like a shitty meal, and you're like, okay, maybe that was a one-off because I've eaten here before and it was really good. And you go back there a week later and you get a really shitty meal and you're like, okay, I'm starting to see a trend. And then you go back because they got this new deluxe special. What the chances of you thinking that's going to be really good and turning out really good probably aren't that high based on recent trends. And so it's like, yeah, it's like if somebody came out and said, hey, we're making an Aliens movie or a Predator movie next year. What do you think? I'm be like, it's probably going to fucking suck. That's what I'm going to tell you because of the way it's kind of been going.
Yeah, because I think, I mean, the one that I really enjoyed in the last few years was the Rodriguez one. He actually did that one really well, and I really found that to be fun. The newest one that came out, I think, a couple of years ago was really bad. Even the CG was horrible. Like, it was just, and the premise of it was dumb, dumb.
I have an idea for a Predator film, and it's going to capture the original spirit. And I'm not going to give you some like bullshit like, oh, Predators in a wheelchair or something. Or
I don't know, man. That actually started to sound kind of cool.
Okay, fine. We'll talk about Predators and wheelchairs in a moment. Maybe we should make that a never mind. Write that down, kind of for future reference. You know what's up, what we're doing. But all I was trying to get at,
hang on,
is when you watch the first Predator and a lot of these first sci-fi films that went on to have these huge franchises, the mistake all of the franchise holders make is to continue it by making it more complex. It's the simplicity of the stories and the interesting characters that make these films great. Yeah. So what I'm pitching is instead of going to alien worlds and doing all this crazy stuff, just do like a balls to the wall Predator versus human battle, just in the jungle, like not slow pace, just something crazy. And that's all you could really do with it, because trying to turn it into let's bring in Danny Glover and the lore and this and that, that's when it kind of gets funky. When it's just a basic commandos on the planet Earth run into an alien and the alien's skinning them alive and they got to get out alive. Awesome concept. When you turn it 12 different things and convolute it, then it loses efficacy.
Or better yet, go to the Predator planet and like follow somebody a character trying to come up in the ranks or whatever, and get into the deep lore of what they do, how it works, what goes on in there, what their hierarchies are, how their society works. I would love that shit. I would watch it all day. You know?
Oh yeah. And sketch therapy, that is a fantastic idea. I got a good rhythm going, more so than people know. If we get, look at folks, when we get back up to 600 and watching, tell people, we'll share the cover, because I'm really anxious to show this. Jesse knows what's up.
Yeah, I did.
It's like the first thing in like a long time I've been anxious to show people. So
yeah, and I mean also to bringing movie properties from the 80s that you can't make sequels of, but you're making shows of now is just as lazy. You can't reboot. Yeah, you know that's the longer way of rebooting them and being imaginatively bankrupt in Hollywood is just, oh yeah, we'll make it into a show, people will love it. No, we won't. How about you make original shit? Like, once again, the show I love and I've been watching a lot lately is The Expanse. It's a wonderful show. It's a sci-fi show. It's great. This 5th season's coming out soon.
I'm looking forward to getting into
that. Highly recommend. And it's also diverse, so nobody can bitch at anybody about that.
I love the idea of doing things with these characters, but it's going to take a real visionary. And Ridley Scott is a real visionary, but he's not a hungry man anymore. You can say that about any visionary director. Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Robert Zemeckis. We'll even use Robert Zemeckis as a better example. When he was young and hungry, he made Back to the Future, which some people, including myself, consider one of the all-time greats. And when he became a little more comfortable, he made stuff like Forrest Gump and Man on Wire and Flight, which I think he won an Oscar for, was nominated. But he couldn't come back and be Robert Zemeckis from 1984. Ridley Scott isn't 1978 to 9 Ridley Scott. So I don't think Ridley Scott is the right guy anymore. I don't know who's the right person. I can't give you a name outside of what we saw with Neil Blomkamp getting exciting. But for these properties to really have life, if you have to make them continue, stop trying to sell us the names like these producers and these directors and just get us awesome people. I hate that when you go to watch a Star Wars property, they're like, Chris Terrio wrote this one. It's like, yeah, you wrote Fargo.
Dude, it's the same thing that happened with 2018 Halloween. Like Nick Castle's coming back to play the Shape. It's like, John Carpenter's coming back to produce. It's like, that's great. That movie was dog shit. That doesn't mean anything.
Right? I agree with that one. See, to me, Nick, that film shares so much in common with The Force Awakens that it's not even funny. And at the end of the day, it's a good thing for Hollywood that they figured out that formula because it seems to work consistently, but it also seems to fall apart when we get to the second film. So Halloween Kills comes out next year. Excuse me. I'll wait for that one to have a huge drop-off from the first one because these movies are never good enough to continue under their own steam. They're good enough to make you remember shit from decades ago, make you feel things from decades ago, get you to shell out the money. If it's good, come back for more. If it scratches that itch, they got your money. The nostalgia tax worked. You paid it, and then that's it.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I understand the whole nostalgia thing and stuff like that. That's fine. But I mean, even then, if watching that movie, I think I watched it one more time after we watched the theater, and I was like, there's so much fucking fan service in this movie. It's ridiculous. They literally just did a bunch of callbacks and things like that just to get the nostalgia gland in your head working, and the movie in itself didn't make sense. It wasn't very good, and I hope the normies who like these movies realize that and don't go support these remakes anymore. I know we have a very smart group of people who are watching us and who love our channel, but we need the normies as well to learn, like, don't give them your money anymore. Have it die, have it fail, and hopefully Hollywood will get the message.
Yeah. Stop spending money on stuff just because it's got that fucking name on it. Only pay for it if it's quality.
Yeah, and don't go see it out of curiosity. Don't give money out of curiosity. Don't do that either. If you have the ability to, for Hollywood movies only, please, that are the remakes or whatever, acquire them by different means.
Yeah. Worst case Ontario, red box it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Folks in the chat, that is not Shit Pancake. That is his brother Jane. He all of a sudden likes to go outside and he can't. So that's why he's crying. We're just meowing at the front door. Well, Katarn, I did put yours on screen real quick about the Jaws 19 gag. We do live in the back. It is weird how we did.
Wait, no, there's also there's also a gag in what is it, Airplane 2? It was like Rock 97 or whatever. He's this old guy and it's like got all these Roman numerals above him.
Dude, that's what we'll use to make fun of The Rock. It's like, oh, what Rock movie is this? Oh, it's Rock number 47. Great.
It's in the background of like Airplane 2. I forget.
It's a remake of Skyscraper, except for now he's got a fake arm.
So earlier today, I had seen some sad news about the passing of one of my favorite artists, a man named Richard Corbin. He worked on Den as well as he did the Bat Out of Hell album cover for Meatloaf and stuff. But the reason that The Rock jogged my memory is he has a character named Den. The Rock is like the physical embodiment of that. He's just a bald dude who's not quite white, kind of brownish, and he's really buff, and that's all he is. So I think that should be the Rock's next project. Jesse, when I was watching that weird heavy metal movie, would you watch The Rock in a movie like that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Give it a shot.
Don't make it happen. No, Justin, it is not Chip Pancake. It's Jane.
The fucking cat. It's just going crazy over there.
Die hard with a peg leg.
It's the first time he got the bug of really wanting to go in the hallway.
Dude, he jumped into the door, and the only thing I've ever seen do that before was Dion. I should have said first. I love you, brother. But when Dion's drunk, you can convince him that he can do anything. So, folks, when you hang out with us in person when we're all drunk, convince Dion that he can do kip-ups.
Yep. And don't just walk up to him and just be like, "Hey, Dion, I bet you could do a kip up." No, like you gotta come encouragingly. You could be like, "Hey, I know you can do some fucking."
Well, I mean, there was a time that he was real drunk, and one of our fans gave him an adult sex toy. That was fun.
Yeah, that purple dildo.
Yeah.
He was sitting there at the table, like holding it in his hands, like fucking waving it around like a wand. It was unsettling.
it was his own personal one.
Dude, that was the thing he was the most proud to take home to his wife.
That's true. We've never heard about it since then, but we're hopeful that it's spiced things up.
It was sitting on his counter when I went to visit for New Year's.
That's fantastic. It's good to know that it's still around and it did get fired out onto the streets of Lansing, Michigan.
No. You will not find said purple dildo walking around the streets of Michigan.
That's good.
I'm glad I got home, Jeff. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you in the chat today. So, folks, I'm gonna read some super chats now. A couple of these are from before we went on the air, so we are really behind. Dr. Coffin-Nails, thank you very much. He does say R.I.P. Brandon Moist. To quote Neil Peart, when I heard that you were gone, I felt a shadow cross my heart. Dr. Coffin-Nails, that is a really nice sentiment. TLJ Screwjob says R.I.P. to the moistness there is, ever was, and will be. And then Hammond at Texas had said, I think I'm going to send, somebody had said something about an inquiry about his something. I think I'm going to send these super chats to that. You think that's fair?
Yeah.
I just feel weird trying to,
Yeah.
Back, though, to our friend Gunnar Renee Oli. We haven't heard from him in a while. He says, no X-Men or Avatar mentioned, but Fantastic Four. They did say that 20th Century Studios and Searchlight movies would be announced soon, but just a couple of movies were coming out in theaters first. So, Gunnar, first off, good to hear from you. Avatar 2 is a film that Dion bet money on that it would never come out.
To me.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, Dion's going to lose a couple $100 for that one. Ooh. But with that being said, I don't think X-Men is ready yet. And hear me out. Right now in the comic books, there's more than just this weird love triangle between Scott and Wolverine. I think it's hinted at. I'm not reading the book.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what's happening?
There was talk earlier in the year that Scott, aka Cyclops, Wolverine, and Jean Grey were all fucking each other. That was like the thing that Marvel had put out there. So Marvel is more focused on the villains their superheroes fight than the superheroes fucking each other. Like, that's what they're worried on. This weird, like, they're like Brody from Mallrats. They're worried about the weird sexual proclivities of these weird otherworldly figures. It's like, we don't care about that. We really do care about Doctor Doom or Galactus and the Ultimate Nullifier and fun stuff like that. Not the who's banging who in the X-Men. With that being said, though, Gunnar, my point I was making is they have basically soft rebooted the X-Men. They tried to do a launch where they put them in their 90s costumes to bring back that stuff, and then they switched it up a little. And the reason I'm telling you this is because all of a sudden, those versions of X-Men that are fairly new are getting merchandise released quickly. So there's something to be said about that version of X-Men. So I think what Marvel's doing is building a new X-Men on paper, and then whenever that has reached the point that it's fertile enough to milk or glean from, that'll be their entry point, and then they'll use those characters to tell classic stories. So I think that's why we're so far removed from any kind of X-Men announcements, because we're so far removed from any X-Men projects. They're probably just sheets of paper that have as much there is to know right now. So that being said, Fantastic Four, hope Marvel does it right. That's the one that if they got something to excite me, I will be back opening night and ready to watch, because the Fantastic Four could be it. They're the first family of Marvel, and I like them.
Listen. What they need to do is bring back Roger Corman and let him finish his work, okay? And just release that version.
I agree 1,000%.
If nobody knows what I'm talking about out there, go look up Roger Corman Fantastic Four. You'll thank me.
Tony Simpanero, we read this, but we're going to read it again. A female reboot of a franchise is a period piece. I'm just taking a picture of that to make sure I never forget that. Tony, I'm just going to let you know I'm going to start saying that regularly, but I'll never forget where it came from.
Wonderful.
Our friend and the progenitor of the purple phallus for Dion says, Captain Marvel taking a giant purple fist. Who can deny how freaking amazing she is for being able to fit that in? Dude, it's like you knew we were going to talk about you later on in the show, so you sent that one about an hour and a half ago.
I'd like to send a giant purple fist. Send it to Dion Green, care of World Class Bullshitters. Jeff, run the address thing on the bottom of the screen there.
You got it, dude.
But yes, anytime you guys got sex toys you want to send to Dion, he'll accept them.
Yeah,
Or-
go. Yeah,
Okay, let me rephrase that. We'll make him accept them.
Dion,
can somebody send Dion the Great American Challenge, please?
Yes.
Oh. Well, Ninja Warrior Steve sent Dion something, but I can't open it because it's addressed to Dion, and that's just not how I operate.
That's right. That's mail fraud, and we don't do that here.
Mm-mm.
No,
we're all friends. We all follow the laws together.
That's right. So send them all your fake cocks.
Thank you, Dr. Meatball, for saying what everyone was thinking.
I mean, it is. I mean, there's no way Wolverine can be a top, but he'd kill both of them. Let's be honest.
I mean, if he constantly regenerates, I get it. So fuck it. That's why he has the mutton chops and the huge sideburns and shit.
Right. And that's how you know he could never be Jewish, because they would just keep growing back.
Our friend Tony Simpanero is back with JR at a strip club. Now, I think he meant, since we were talking about Dallas, that JR, but I'm just going to say JR the wrestler. And
my God, Maggle,
Okay.
look at them titties, King. Oh, gosh, she's up there shaking that thing. All right, you want it down there, honey?
Kendo, this is for you to say. Somebody show some damn snatch in the voice of JR.
Somebody show some damn snatch. I got a family.
And a lot of blue chew that you've taken, sir.
That's right. That's fresh. Mm-hmm. Get me some Moscow mules and go up there to that strip club, see them titties. Show me some snatch.
Now, our friend Bweezy Bird had sent in this super chat earlier. He said Vader saying he hasn't sensed Obi-Wan in a long time isn't going to be retcon, or is going to be retcon with the new show. Now, Bweezy Bird, like, we did address that, but you did send that earlier, which was our transition. But to bring up that point again, I think that's imperative. It's not just about Star Wars being precious to me. It's my theory on anything. When you're going to adapt or continue a franchise, whatever the original version is should be called Star Wars Prime, and you can't contradict it. There should always be someone to say, you can't do that because this. It used to be Pablo Hidalgo, which you can joke and all the stuff that Ethan has said and made videos of stuff. Yes, cool, awesome. Never going to deny the fun of that. But Pablo Hidalgo was hired to be the continuity guy. And as Lucasfilm's culture shifted into whatever the hell it's become, this garbage monster that just eats up stuff and spits out shit, ever since he's become that, or the culture's become that, he no longer does that, because a guy like him being still on the payroll and then allowing shit like this to happen is a problem for me and a problem for Star Wars in general, because nothing is sacred to them. It goes to show that continuity is just a fucking anchor around these people's neck, when it should be to them ample opportunity to cash in on these things indefinitely. For some reason, they look at the easiest way to make money as the most difficult thing because it just takes a little more time. Instead of selling a product that has been written from decades ago, you want to change everything just so you can cut corners on one project. I think it's stupid. I figure put in the effort now and move forward quicker.
They don't care about the property. They don't care about your entertainment and enjoyment of the property. They only care about your money.
That is true.
Well, not even that. They care. They care about the quick buck. They don't care about the longevity of this building Like even the Mandalorian, they don't want to build it into this like wonderful show and have it be its own thing. They want to just have all these spin-offs off of it and make it and make it this thing to grow all these properties from. It's like, we get what you're doing. It's not a good idea, and nobody's going to buy into it. So
I read that as Feline Dion.
You're gonna make all that money in Vegas.
Feline Dion. That should be his new name. That if he's not listening to this, and I don't know if he will, but you need to introduce him as he will. I hope introduce him from now on as Feline Dion.
Fine, that's his new name.
Feline Dion.
Just Kendo, make sure you correct me anytime I call him Dion. You go, no, it's Feline Dion.
Feline Dion. His heart will go on.
He is a diva, and he wants his full name said.
Well, his heart will go on for Dark Fate.
That's right. He loves that fucking movie.
I feel like we shouldn't make jokes about it when he's not here. Not because I feel like he can't defend himself. I just want to hear him talk shit back to us.
I know.
Yeah, I want him to get claimed. Like, you're impugning my character. It's like, no, you like that movie. Shut up.
Fook Google 2, thank you very much for your super chat about the deep fakes. Infinity Hand says Disney could euthanize Harrison Ford with a laughing face.
Google.
Somebody's gonna clip that. They're just gonna say,
"Hey! I'm all about euthanizing the old people. It's fine. It's okay."
Yeah, I mean, look, you take all these actors that are past their prime, but you want to see them on screen. The easiest thing to do is euthanize them. Euthanize old actors.
Yes. Hashtag euthanize the elderly.
That's right. Make sure you use the proper spelling, or they'll think you mean something else.
Yeah. This one, the onus is on you folks to spell it properly. We're telling you how to spell it.
We are having hit pieces written about us in a couple of days, and all of a sudden we're just like, our phones are blowing up. It's like, you guys are trending on Twitter. Wow, really? It's because we're calling for the euthanization of the elderly. It's like, no, we didn't mean that. We meant make them young. We have to call press conferences. We have to have the lawyers speak for us. We're just standing there in sunglasses so people can't, we're like slow play, like whenever people win the lottery. It'd be great. Actually, never mind. If you mess up the spelling, it'll get us notoriety.
That's true.
Our friend Ian Slater says, coming 2025, John Wayne makes his comeback.
Yeah, except for now, it's the regular John Wayne, but they just ran some Microsoft Paint over him to make him a darker shade.
Yeah, they euthanized him.
The Duke is back.
The Duke is back. He's back.
Dude, you know what'd be fucked up? And I could see Hollywood doing this. They deepfake John Wayne to apologize for the shit he said in Playboy magazine.
Oh, Jesus.
I thought you were going to say they deep fake him to make him apologize for the fucking movie that killed everybody.
Oh, it killed him too. So, I mean,
I'm sorry that I was in the Conqueror and I played Genghis Khan. Nobody bought me as a Mongolian. Like, yeah, you're right. We didn't.
So our friend Gunnar Renee Oli, thank you very much. He says you talked about actor replacement. Remember that off-brand Chinese John Boyega ad? That was so atrocious. I mean, something to John. I meant something to John. I actually don't remember that ad. Do you guys?
No.
Okay, so I typed in Chinese John Boyega ad. Let's see. Oh, is it this one? Joe Malone London deeply apologized after China drops. Oh, it must be this one. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I've never heard of this one.
The cat has.
The cat has. The cat's really offended. Sorry, Jane, that your buddy.
The cat is very passionate about Boyega being not allowed in China.
No. The cat's upset that his favorite actor has been snubbed again.
Oh no, Jane, no. It can't be true.
See?
I mean, it is not true.
No one bought him.
Oh, nice, quiet. Okay, good. Chuck E. Cheese
You can't tell me it is true.
says, how long until... and by the way, Gunnar, sorry, I just didn't know more of the commercial. I'll check it out, though. I apologize. I didn't hear about that one. Our friend Chuck E. Cheese says, how long until Hollywood tries to dig up Robin Williams and John Candy? People might say that's offensive, but I hate to say it. They'll try that shit eventually.
Yeah,
literally?
and those are those are two actors I really I really loved as a kid. I still love now, and that would tear me up. I don't think I could take that.
I tend to want to read these in order, but this is a super chat that needs to get read right now from Up the Ass Franklin. Should I start a channel with a name like that? Yes, you should.
Oh my
Hey, you're the first subscriber. Hold on, you have a fucking channel that at least exists. I want to subscribe right now.
Hold on. Let's see. Let's see.
I don't care what kind of content you make. You could be screaming for the death of millions, and I'm like, look, his name is Up the Ass Franklin, and he's got a picture of the damn turtle. I subscribe.
Does he have a channel, Jeff? Does he have a channel?
I'm looking. But Up the Ass Franklin, I'm just going to say this bluntly. If you don't, I'm going to start the Up the Ass Franklin channel.
Yeah, I better start it tonight. I better see a video tonight on that channel. Where the first thing I'm doing in the morning is creating the Up the Ass Franklin channel, and I'm putting out my own content.
Oh God, I love it.
Dude, that goddamn name. It's just I'm sitting here just like listening to what you're saying. All of a sudden I see that pop up with that face, and it's I'm like, I'm done. I'm broke. He got me.
Sorry, I shouldn't just randomly laugh in the middle of the show for 10 minutes at Up the Ass Franklin.
There's just certain things that come along that no matter what, it's gonna get you. It's gonna punch you right in the nose and say, "This is funny." That is funny,
Dude. You know what the best part is? Dion will never understand the context. We could explain it forever, but he'll never know. Oh, dude, Darth Fatass is here. So Up the Ass Franklin and Darth Fatass would be friends. But I am super excited to say again, Logan Michael, Anti-Funko Pops, he says, how's it going?
pretty damn good right now.
Yeah, we just learned of Up the Ass Franklin.
Oh, that's listener of the week. Up the Ass Franklin, you're listener of the week. I'm calling it right now. I'm making an executive decision.
I second it.
Win with that name alone, right there. Good job, sir. And it's not so much just the name, because if he didn't have like a picture or anything like that, he'd just be like, okay, good for you. But it's the picture of Franklin and the look on Franklin, this fucking thing's face. Oh, that combination it's
Even the
my jaw hurts.
Yeah,
Damn.
dude, I got a headache. Oh, I screenshotted that. Kendo, I'll send you the picture later.
Dude, that's right up there with that midget stripper thing. That's always going to make me laugh.
Oh, Logan, Liquor Jim, thank you very much. He sends in a super chat to respond to Logan Michael. It says, to Logan Michael, it's going well, but Funko Pops are still awful. Oh, man. Everyone is excited to see Logan Michael back. So, what up, man? Good to see you. Sorry, Up the Ass Franklin just broke the show.
No, he came Up the Ass Franklin meet Leroy Jenkins, because you just came swinging in and just cracked the show in half. Good job.
I almost was going to share the comic cover now, but I need to let
you gotta let that die down. Nobody's gonna fucking take you seriously when you're trying to show this thing and you're laughing your ass off at Up the Ass Franklin. That's a kid's cartoon you won't see, folks, unless you watch it like Adult Swim or something like that.
Dude, 007 Cloud. Up the Ass Franklin plus Dion's movie equals Up My Black Ass.
Up Franklin's black ass.
That is cold. That is gold right there.
I'm really upset that Dion wasn't here this week, because there's this Netflix commercial that keeps showing Netflix has a new movie each week. So it's 1 week it's this one week it's that one, and the other one it was Ma Rainey's Black something.
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Black Bottom. And I was like, we got to make one for Dion Green's black ass. And, that would have been the perfect week to bring it up. So, Dion, we miss you, man. We miss you. So, let's move on to our next. Hold on. Chuck E. Cheese, we read that one. 007 Cloud, this is a good one to transition from. Well, one more after this. He says, sorry I'm late, guys. I was watching The Last of Us 2 awards. 007 Cloud, I have heard that it has won some awards. Annie Hall beat Star Wars at the Oscars back when the Oscars still kind of meant something. So Just keep that in mind. The Go Big or Go Home is the perfect one to transition to. I'd pay good money to bare knuckle box Sean Penn. Better yet, let me add him in the octagon. I'll make sure he can't run his mouth anymore.
Just every time you go to hit him, just scream "dead man walking" and just punch him.
Oh yeah,
Damn.
It's actually
It's
actually a really good movie, but that's the only Sean Penn movie I could think of off the top of my head that would make sense in that scenario.
I'm low hanging fruit. I go, hey bud, let's party, and then just pop a one. That's all I kind of know him from. Well, that and I Am Sam or Milk. There's a lot of Sean Penn movies I know but have never seen. Shit, I've only seen like maybe 5 of his movies overall. Either way, Go Big Borgo, I get it. There are people that I just want to box as well. So let's take a trip to the past for a minute, guys, just for funsies. Rare Pokemon card already beating previous auction record on eBay. So Kendo, I know you were a little older.
Still was into Pokemon.
You were not at all, or you were?
I was, dude. I had Pokemon cards mostly because I sold them. I had a job so I could buy them and sell them to the younger kids. I was an entrepreneur, but I've always liked Pokemon, the games, and the fruit snacks now.
Ah. What about you, Nick?
I was never into Pokemon. It just didn't catch me.
You bastard!
Yeah, I know.
What?
Get out!
You're why we can't have nice things.
Yeah. You ruined up the ass Franklin night.
No, he didn't, because Dion's chair is here to save it. To say, unfortunately, I've been up in Franklin too many times. Somehow, although Dion has done more than me. Dion,
There we go. All right, good job. Glad to see somebody came along to save us from Nick's shitty jokes.
Yeah. So I brought this up because I was the kid who not only liked Pokemon and had the cards, but for some reason my mom got into it. So she took up the mantle to finish the card collection. So every time I see one of these articles, I hope Pokemon cards become super rare and super valuable, because I have, of all the original ones, I don't have everyone first edition, but I don't have any second printing cards, and they're all mint. So hopefully one day we'll trickle down to that. If not, I don't care. I never plan to sell them anyway. So these Pokemon cards, though, are going for crazy amounts of money. And the thing that blows my mind is we officially, or at least me personally, I now have the childhood toy that is now super valuable and super rare. So, you had the guys that grew up, their Star Wars toys, the double telescoping lightsabers, or their vinyl capes Jawas. You get to the G.I. Joe guys that had the USS flag, stuff like that. For my era, it's like, well, Spider-Man toys are worth nothing compared to what they are. Other brands, X-Men, Batman, all mass-produced, Ninja Turtles. But the Pokemon card's the first one that, for our era, that's the high collectible. So I'm curious to see if other things from our childhood, this era, if you're roughly my age, is going to attract the value. So the card currently is over $270,000.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's the only one I didn't have in the original collection.
I have Charizard, but I do not have the first edition. I have a holographic Charizard, so it's different and less valuable. But if somebody did offer me this kind of money for that Charizard, I'll go back with everything I just said for $270,000 and sell that motherfucker.
Yeah, because then you can just go buy another one for way cheap.
The thing is, I wouldn't. I haven't touched the card in like 15 years. It just sits in one of those sleeves, the binders with the plastic inserts.
Yeah, I've got one somewhere with the Pokemon cards from that first series that came out that I had. Like I said, I have them all except for the Charizard.
Yeah. Well, maybe when we hit it bigger, that'll be a Christmas gift for you, Kendo. Instead of a helicopter and a Pokemon card. How's that sound?
Ooh, yeah. I can. No. Buy me the helicopter, and then you have the helicopter come pick me up, and I fly to you, and you give me the Charizard.
That sounds fair.
Then you can combine Christmas and birthday in one, since my birthday is right after Christmas.
That's fair. Just get you a more lavish gift. You deserve it. You're a good bullshitter.
Thank you.
So, what else do we have on the docket for tonight? It's been a quick show. It's been a fun show, though. I got to say, folks, everyone in the chat, thank you for being so respectful earlier in the show. And, sorry, Jane.
The cat agrees.
The cat agrees. So Spider-Man is in the news with this movie. We'll talk about that in just a moment. What do you guys think of the prospect of Tobey Maguire coming back to play Spider-Man?
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Nick, you like it? It's great.
Yeah.
I love, in theory, I hope this is as amazing as I want it to be. That wasn't, no pun intended.
Yeah.
But the more we're finding out about this movie, I don't know what to think about it, because folks that hadn't heard the High Council news, Alfred Molina is coming back as Dr. Octopus, Dr. Otto Octavius. So we know essentially that this is a Spider-Verse film, a live-action Spider-Verse film, which is a rare thing because, well, technically, yeah, because it's going to be the same statement across the board. The Spider-Verse storyline is one of the quickest inception to adaptation on a big screen of any Marvel story, maybe ever. And I know it wouldn't be fair because certain Marvel stories are adapted from 1962, but in general, when they made other Spider-Man films or other X-Men films and stuff, they decided to take the classic elements. So Spider-Verse is one of those rare instances where it's popular, but I also have the question about manufactured popularity, because across the board in geek culture, we see things that we're told are popular. And the prime example I love to use, because it's from an insider standpoint, and we have them saying it, this isn't speculation, when someone was interviewed asking about the demand for the sequel era toys, or excuse me, the Gentle Giant statues. And the guy said twice, what demand? What are you talking about? There's this thing, this thought, this idea, this way to trick people, to dupe people. You tell them about the hype. You engineer the hype, manufacture it. And so I'm still of the mindset that some of the Spider-Verse stuff is manufactured hype. And it's one of those things where people use the word Spider-Verse as a coverall for anything that's bullshit. So, we're going to get the crossover. It doesn't work. That's part of the Spider-Verse. I'm afraid that this just lets the film be lazy. And Spider-Man can't really handle a lazy film, because you'll say to me, the last one was one of the most successful ones. Rightly so. But just because the movie before makes a lot of money doesn't necessarily mean the next one will, or will be good. So just keep all of that in mind. So I'm very, very cautious about any of the news, but the kid in me wants to get super excited that there's a world that we live in. We're going to see Sam Raimi direct Tobey Maguire again as Spider-Man, probably on the Doctor Strange thing, but I bet you they're shooting this all at once. So he's probably on set with him sooner than we think. So that part's cool. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that the Spider-Verse stuff opens the door for some laziness, or do you think it opens the door for some awesomeness? And are you excited either way? Nick, you go first.
I say both, just because, I mean, it can open it for them to do different Spider-Verse related things, and different Spider-Man stuff and things like that. But also, it opens up the way for them to if a mistake ever happens, like, it's a Spider-Verse, it's a different time, it's a different universe, whatever, and it opens them up to not be accountable for the things and the mistakes they made. Because if they make like a shitty Spider-Man movie, they're like, it's we're gonna do a new one that's part of another universe, we're gonna start from scratch now and do something different, and it gives them the ability to mess up and not be accountable. And it's really bad for us, because then like the normers will be like, that's cool, it's a different universe, we'll take it, man, whatever. And it's not a good thing. I'm not a fan of it, but we might get a few good stories here and there out of it, if they get the right people on it and they do the right kind of thing with it. But it's a double-edged sword, and I don't know. You can't give that kind of thing to Hollywood, because they're absolutely going to fuck it up. They're absolutely going to mess it up. I mean, looking at it from an outside perspective, it's a good and bad thing, but it's definitely bad for them, because they are going to screw it up.
I'm like I say, I want to be optimistic. I want to be spider trainer up the ass, Chuck E. Cheese. That's what this movie could be. Historically, when they introduce every piece of eye candy, you don't really get the best end result. Look at Endgame. My complaint is that end scene, yes, it's the culmination of all these years of Marvel films, but at the same time, it's visual vomit. When they come out of the portals all at once, it's ugly, it's gray New York, it's just random dusty shit underscored by bright colored effects. I didn't think it was visually stunning, and it just is too much on screen. It's so dense, like Rick McCallum says when you make fun of the old prequel stuff, because Red Letter Media said it. But there's validity to that. Just because you can pack shit on screen doesn't make it good, and just because you can pack a movie full of things that are good doesn't mean you're going to assemble those parts to be as effective. Does that sound like a fair criticism too?
Yeah.
Oh, 007 Cloud does not like Tom Holland. He says he's just going to be clinging on to Doc Ock like he did with Mysterio and Stark.
Yeah, that's the only part I don't want to like. The idea of the Spider-Verse, yeah, you could get some amazing stuff out of it, but it also means we have to deal with more Tom Holland Spider-Man and possibly Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. That part kind of makes me go, I don't know if I want that.
No, it's like James Bond. One of my favorite characters is just being flushed down the toilet. Actually, I take that back. The toilet's been flushed. I'm just watching him spin around the bowl.
Well, I mean, to give you an example of like a Spider-Verse or this universe, or where all these things can happen because of an infinite universe and portals and whatever. Look at Terminator. You have time travel as the element, and they've totally messed it up after the second movie.
Yeah.
And every time they've tried to, manipulate the timeline, like, oh, the timeline happened, slightly different. Oh, the machines, it's like the machines are slightly different this time. Oh, this thing happened. It's like because they have that, they have that way out, that exit. They've abused it, and we've all paid for it because they've made shitty film after shitty film. So there's your answer.
Yeah. So let's see what else we got. Our friend Go Big Boy read that one. Mr. Millennium says, I've unironically seen people say Star Wars is back. I'm getting the Force Awakens flashbacks. Mr. Millennium, that is a good thing to be aware of, though, because you can see the trend again starting. This is how it was when we had the Chewie We're Home trailer. But the difference is, though, the stuff that the people that are saying Star Wars is back, the amount of those people, I think it's smaller than the amount of people that were going to be interested in The Force Awakens. Because, yes, kids have grown up with Ahsoka. It would be a lie to say that's not the case. She's been around for 12 years. I remember when the show was new in college, was watching it. So, yes, could have grown up with the character. But not as many people have grown up with the character because she's newer. So, in the roundabout way, all I'm trying to say is you'll get the vibes. They'll try to manufacture those vibes, but not enough people will be excited. So it won't really be a thing. Streaming service shows are popular, but the world doesn't stop when something drops. 007 Cloud says Predator sequel should have been Predator versus current action movie star. I'd like that. It could be like a rite of passage.
Can we not get Predator versus The Rock? Where the hell's that movie?
Dude, I was actually going to say Jason Momoa first because I thought The Rock might be a little too old at this point. But 20 years ago, Rock versus Predator, it's his first big role out of the WWF, still WWF champion shit. It's Scorpion King, Predator. That'd be cool. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger shakes his hand in the rundown to pass the torch symbolically. So why not?
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great. Maybe Arnold is CIA or whatever, and he's so old he's still ingrained in that whole system because he knows too much, he can't leave, and he tells him he tells him, hey, this something's out there, it needs to be taken care of, it's been killing too much shit, go take care of it, and he has to go fight the Predator.
Our friend Justin Proper says, thank you for dedicating the stream to Brandon. Off stream, he spoke very fondly about that first stream and how much you guys meant to him. Well, Justin, thank you very much. I was talking to Superfan Adam Shawhan about that stuff too, and it's kind of trying to think of the right word because it's sobering. It's sobering. It's just like, wow, we had that much of an impact, and it was great that he contributed so much to the community. He was as big of a part to us as we were to him, so it was a nice relationship. Dovin Death says, since Predator is in the same universe as Aliens, have a movie where it goes up against a group of colonial Marines.
Sure.
pretty cool.
I'd be entirely fine with that. That'd be great.
Hey, that was a really great movie concept because you don't even have to have Ripley or anything like that. You could have just had a group of people in a similar situation. Fuck, you can even have, because what I was trying to get at is you won't have anyone that has experienced the xenomorph and then experienced a predator. It would be because Hicks is dead, Newt is dead.
Well. Here's an idea. Maybe they've encountered the aliens. So, and this is obviously the future, like future on from the first time they've seen the aliens and know about them. Maybe they have an alien unit and they think that's what it is, but it's a predator instead.
I would like that.
They have an elite unit for these things because they know they've studied the xenomorphs enough and they've encountered them enough across terraforming planets that like they have a special unit now dedicated to that in case they ever come up. But what's happening is that it's not a xenomorph, it's a fucking predator. So they have to like this crazy unit has to go up against that.
Did you guys ever see the fan film where Batman runs into an alien xenomorph?
Yeah, dude.
And then the predators show up at the end.
Yes, yeah, I've seen that. It's crazy.
That is the best, in my opinion, that is the best fan film ever made. Because I know technology has advanced and we have all those great Bat in the Sun crossovers and some people do some wonderful work in the communities. But that comes from an era where that was all made, shot probably on film, and it looked awesome. That guy looked like Alex Ross's Batman come to life, and all the all the makeup, all the effects, everything that was put into that was as good as a modern movie, but it was not a movie. It just was a fan-made thing. I think those are more impressive when it's harder to do. Those are the guys that make it easier for the people today. And because it was so perfect back then, I still sing its praises. I'll never.
That I think that particular short is probably almost 15 years old. I want to say, if not, around that old.
03. Because Batman Dead End.
Holy shit, yeah. But the thing is that you're doing this in 03 on an independent budget with no way of getting your money back because it's a fan film, and you're making this because you love these things and you want to see this particular content. That's a lot of dedication and a lot of drive to make this, and it's and as good as it still looks now, it's still a lot of fun and still good watch. I mean, like that's a lot of dedication there, and whoever made it did a damn good job.
And I mean, look at this dude playing Batman. Yeah, this is a fan film from 17 years ago. Looks pretty damn awesome, even compared to what Hollywood gives. And that's nothing to take away from Ben Affleck's suit. I think Ben Affleck, with the exception of the cowl making him a little too cat-like and from certain angles, I like his costume. But I think it's a testament to the dedication that the guy put into the his physique. Excuse me if I could speak, and just everything that went into that. That to me is just, it speaks volumes of dedication.
Yeah, it does. And I know recently there was a company or some guys who did a Friday the 13th fan film called Never Hike Alone or Never Hike in the Snow. And they did a damn good job as well with the lore. They even got the guy who played the third Tommy Jarvis to be in their first one. And it reads so well. They did such a good job with it. But unfortunately, they're never going to make money out of it because of what's happening.
But did they bring back Chip Travolta?
They did not. I'm sorry.
I need that chocolate eating goober.
I never realized this. The actor who played the Joker in Batman Dead End was Andrew Koenig, who is the son of Walter, who's Chekhov from Star Trek.
Oh, wow.
Who sadly passed away, 10 years ago by suicide. But that's just weird. I didn't realize that was like an actor. I thought this was just, like a fan film. So, shit. That's cool. $30,000 budget, too.
Damn, dude, they did a good amount for $30,000 back then. They really did.
I don't know about showing it, so I'm not going to show it on the stream, but go watch it on YouTube, folks. It's awesome. So I want to share our big announcement because now's the time. We're getting into the second hour of the show, and I think it's the perfect time. So you guys ready to share the cover?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right.
Do
So,
it.
yeah. So, folks, I am super excited to share the High Council Day 1 edition cover. So, folks, I keep dropping the link in the chat. Make sure you're signed up for that because this is a one-day exclusive. This is just available once, and that's it. And to sweeten the deal, let me show you the thing first. So, as you can see here, it features myself, Ethan, Jeremy, and Cecil. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can actually see a lot more. Is it showing up, guys? Is it zooming in?
Yes, it is.
Zooming in.
Cool. So we have an homage to an old comic book. If anyone in the chat can figure it out from a couple of these things, awesome. You'll win a no prize. But as you can see here, this is all done by me. We have our lovely, approved by no one. This is a parody. And this is your second chance. I love it too. Kendo, if you want, I can put that on a shirt for you.
Please.
I made the graphics so large. Like, I made everything so large for print quality just to be extra safe. Anything can be turned into a shirt. Fuck, I can make you a decal for a car if you wanted out of it.
Oh, jeez.
It's funny because when you sent that over today and I looked at that because I was at work, I'm running around like a fucking crazy asshole like normal. And you sent that over and I stopped and I was like looking at it. And that's the first thing I noticed was that fucking comics code thing at the top corner. I'm like, God damn it, Jeff, you get it.
I do. Now, folks, as you notice too, there's a number 2 on this cover. It's your second chance to get it. So we're not going to call them reprints anymore. Every opportunity is just your chance. So this is your second chance to get Stealing Solo.
It's a new edition.
Yeah, it is a new edition. It's the same story that people love, but it's got all kinds of awesome stuff. And this isn't even the big selling point. This is just the day 1 cover that I wanted to share. So as you can see here, we have our friend Cecil. The High Council rides again. And down here we have myself, Ethan, Jeremy, and Ethan has a pie. So he is hailing, well, he's Caesar, so hail Caesar. A nice little cross. There we go. That's a decent, there you go. That's a good way to show
love that touch. I do love that touch nowhere in this issue, Cecil. It's like fucking Monty Python and the Holy Grail and Sir not appearing in this film.
Oh, God. But hey, Jeff, what are you wearing in the picture?
That is me in my bathrobe from the comic.
That's what
Nice.
that's what I thought. I was kind of like I didn't want to call attention to it if it was something else and sound like an asshole, but I was like, what are you wearing?
So
Jeremy and his fucking yoo-hoo.
Yeah. He's gripping it like he really loves that yoo-hoo.
Yep,
Yeah.
got it. He's gonna fuck some shit up with his yoo-hoo.
He's got a strong grip on that shaft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
And then, of course, look at Ethan lovingly staring at his pie. So that's on brand. But this cover is going to be officially, because I talked to him today, it's going to be colored by the same artist who colors Cyberfrog. So we made another connection to everybody. So Ethan's on the cover and the wonderful colorist who brings life to Cyberfrog, that vibrancy on the page that so many of you have read and experienced. He's going to be working on this with us and coloring this. So this is going to be a super duper crossover on so many different levels. And this isn't even the big thing. The big thing is the painted cover that I drew that Anna painted. Features the Phantom Menace. And we've never seen us before. That's the big appeal of all this. This is just the day 1 exclusive. And this is something fun that I wanted to show. This is all me, 100% artwork, all by me. And features the High Council that you all know and love. And we might be getting back together soonish to talk about this. So sign up for the email. I'm going to drop the link again in the chat. And there you go. So, Kendo, Nick,
Yes.
one last thing about the comic that the people don't know that I will never show, but I will tell them is the new back cover. So if you do have your reprint of Stealing Solo, I'll notice the back cover is much different. It features all of us as action figures, vintage Kenner action figures, if you pay attention closely. So we decided since we're upgrading the cover, we're going to upgrade ourselves as action figures. So if you're of the right age, you remember those shitty Power of the Force 2 action figures, the buff Luke Skywalker? Well, coming soon to a theater near you, the buff bullshitters with all the action figures that you can remember. So I might even just throw a fucking horse back there for Dion. Just like, you know what?
Oh my God, his figure comes with a horse.
His figure is
there you go. Make him a really buff centaur. There you go.
There you go.
That's what we could do next year. I'll do a series of T-shirts as us as fantasy characters, and Dion's as a centaur.
That's fantastic. I love that idea, and we can go ahead and vote on it.
Aye.
3-1 abstention. The motion passes. Dion is going on a T-shirt as a fucking centaur.
So, Legato Star. Wait, other super chat. Sorry, I saw that one popped up right away. I got excited. Dovin Death, thank you very much. He says, since Predator's in the same unit, we read that one. Legato Starwin is another one. Thank you very much. He says, Jeff, I've been consuming Gundam content for the last 24 years, and I'm deeply concerned with the live-action Gundam movie that's set to come out. I have zero interest in woke Hollywood. Legato, there's something interesting when one of your favorite things gets adapted. And it's not about being cynical. It's you're concerned. You care about this thing. This is your favorite property. As you said, 24 years. So there's a level of sanctity that comes with your love of Gundam. I get it for anything. It's how I talk about Spider-Man. Also, how I'm so critical about certain things. So I get it. I also don't think adapting Japanese art forms to live action in America works. It's such a great playground to want to go to and to just dive in and have fun. But what's lost in translation is what makes their shit great, and is why everyone in the world wants to read it and watch it. And that's why manga sells more than American comic books. And that's why anime streaming services are going for $1 billion right now. $1 billion for a fucking anime streaming service. The rights to this stuff, it's incredibly valuable. So there is demand there. And I think, and I hate to be so cynical to say it like this, but we're at that point where now anime is going to become that thing they mine for a while. So, Legato Starwin, I get the reticence and the hesitation to be excited about it. And I don't think your take is being negative in the slightest bit. I think that's the most honest thing you could say about it. Our friend Rob Brantz says, the problem with Rogue Squadron, it was heavily based on the EU that was white for reasons, and the main villain is a white woman, so Hollywood won't like that. Which sucks, Rob, because Rogue Squadron, and yes, you would have to recast a Wedge and certain other characters, like Luke is part of Rogue Squadron to a degree. Yeah, you'd have to do that, but I think that would be fun. Because Star Wars Resistance was trying to be Rogue Squadron for kids on an oil rig and whatever. It was a pilot-based show. It was like all these different things. Rogue Squadron is a brand that is inside Star Wars that really doesn't have the limitations that Hollywood would like to think. Now, I know for reasons they'll never do it, but we haven't had a really awesome airplane movie in decades. What was the last great one? Because if you tell me that bullshit with Jessica Biel, Stealth, I'm going to tell you to leave. That movie, Nick, I don't say this often because it's only happened once or twice, but there are a few times in my life that I've looked at a movie trailer and I said, I would bet my life that movie will fail. And that's what I said about that one. It looked terrible.
It was entirely bad. You were trying to mix Top Gun and 2001: A Space Odyssey, and it did not work. I don't know. I don't know who was snorting meth and jerking off in the corner thinking of that movie, but it didn't work.
No, it did not. Our friend Just Joe 47 says, for Nick, Team Leviathan or Deep Star 6?
Ooh, good question. Leviathan, because the cast is better.
Is that the one that has who's in that one, Nick? Because I know
Ernie Hudson. You have
that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's I gotta look it up now. Jeez, all I know is Ernie Hudson.
That doesn't have Rutger Hauer, does it?
No. I'll look it up.
Okay. While you're looking that one up, let's see. The next one was from Up the S Franklin that says, "Should I start a channel?" Look it. When you sent that almost an hour ago, the answer was yes. The answer is hell yes. Please start it.
Yes, and continue to send us more chats just so we can see your name.
Okay, the celebrities on internet: Peter Weller, Ernie Hudson, Richard Kerna, Daniel Stern, Meg Foster, Hector Elizondo.
He's great.
Yeah, like it's an all-star cast, man. It's really good.
It was Peter Weller that I was I knew it was a famed, like an actor who's done a lot of genre stuff that is been in A-list stuff, but not always in the A-list. So that's why I thought Rutger Hauer, Peter Weller,
and it's a crazy movie. I love it, man. It's insane. It's a lot of fun. It's very much a creature feature, like at the bottom of the ocean. It's great.
So after that one, we had our friend 007 Cloud. We read that. Let's see. Dean Holtzhoffel, thank you very much. He says, I think Feige, or he asks, do you think Feige will make the Fantastic Four woke?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's probably going to bring in Michael B. Jordan again. The girl who's making the Kamala Khan movie right now, they're going to bring her in too.
Yippee.
We need somebody in a wheelchair.
That's actually in a wheelchair.
That actually can't walk. None of those acting shit. All right. They need to be a real paraplegic. All right.
Yeah, because I know a gold bricker when I see one.
Now,
God.
friend Tim Riggs, I did forget to read one. He says, we all love Feline Dion and his Dark Fate marathons. A purple toy gift, equine fears adrift. All know his heart will go on.
Damn, that's a throwback to McKinney 90 and his was it McKinney 90 and his fucking what you call it?
Poems? It was Dealine. He was the McKinney 90 is the artist. I actually got to talk to McKinney 90 2 weeks ago. Jesse was on a stream with who else was people know the stream because Jesse was on it, but everyone was really fucking nice. And then it was like over. I wasn't on it. And then McKinney 90 got on. I was like, I actually want to talk to that dude. So I got to talk to him. He was cool.
That's cool. But hey, McKinney 90, your fucking limericks are lacking. Get back on it.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
007 Cloud, thank you. He says Holland is just going to be clinging on Doc Ock like he did with Mysterio and Stark.
Mm-hmm.
Legato Starwin, thank you very much again. Legato says, Jeff, I still have all my Pokemon cards. I got almost all of them back when they were out. I actually have a holographic Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur circa 2000.
Nice.
Yeah, speaking my language right there, sir.
Yeah. Somebody posted something about how they still got all their Game Boy games and shit like that. It's like one day waiting for Jeff and I, because Jeff and I were going to do Patreon, and we got together and he had to go do something. I pulled out, I had my Game Boy Pocket sitting there, and I just started fucking playing Pokemon Blue. And he's like, are you playing Pokemon? I'm like, yeah. Fucking love those games.
Oh, man.
I enjoyed Pokemon Yellow thoroughly because
yes, I did too.
I liked the show when it first came out. I actually remember why I got into Pokemon cards. Folks, if you ever wonder the effectiveness of magazines selling stuff to children, because I had a Nintendo Power subscription and they sent me a free Pokemon card, I became a Pokemon card collector, and my mom spent probably $1,000 on that bullshit over the year that I was into it. She bought me everything. My mom did not make much money. That woman busted her ass. Believe me, I'm thankful and never forget that shit. But like that was one of those ones where it's like mom went the extra mile. Like I talk about my favorite holidays memory, Christmas 1993, all the Power Rangers. But man, for some reason, when it came to the Pokemon shit, my mom thought it was my favorite thing in the world, and she went to stores without me and had all this shit like pre-bought. That woman had a great system. Maybe one day I'll actually one day I was going to write the comic book story of the Power Rangers Christmas. So we'll tell that story another day.
When we talk glowingly about Mama Hicks, there's a reason.
Oh yeah. She's awesome.
Yes.
So we also had our friend Logan Michael Anti-Funko Pops who asks, check the Marvel Studios Insta page. I will pull that up just a second. Logan Michael. Nick, you're on Instagram, correct?
Yeah, more than I should be.
Any popular trends?
No, just lots of females I look at.
Yep, I get those links because they get sent to me. And I rarely check my Instagram messages, so it'll pop up like Nick has sent you this story, Nick has sent you this, Nick has sent, and then I got other people that send me stuff, and then I see it all in like one go where I get bored. I'm like, I got like 28 messages on Instagram, and I just go and like look through them. I'm like, I like what you've done here.
So you remember how we had heard that rumor that Captain Marvel Brie Larson was going to get fired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear why that rumor from We Got This Covered was bullshit?
Sure.
Yes.
3 hours ago, Captain Marvel 2 was announced. Brie Larson returned to in Marvel Studios. Captain Marvel 2, directed by Nia DaCosta. Joining the cast are Iman Vellani and Monica Rambeau, played by WandaVision's Teyonah Parris. It flies into theaters in the future, and I don't give a fuck.
She's gonna drive up in a Nissan
November
too.
11th, 2022. Oh my God. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. But Logan Michael, you're the hero of the night, because we also found out that Hawkeye show got some announcements. I'm not that. Oh, Vera Farmiga. I like how I'm about to talk shit. Like, oh, Vera Farmiga. I kind of like her. I actually really do like her. It's a weird thing. Anyway, maybe. Then we have She-Hulk. Arrives today. Let's see. Tatiana Maslany will portray Jennifer Walters. Tim Roth. Oh, shit. Tim Roth is coming back?
I do
And the
like
Hulk
Tim Roth.
himself will appear. Huh. They really have shifted gears to strictly on streaming.
Huh.
Now, this show, I already have a question about it. Because we're watching The Mandalorian go from a show about an interesting new character to a show about characters of the week, are we ever going to get a great She-Hulk show? Or are they going to just try to tie in a conclusion to The Incredible Hulk? Is this show a backdoor Incredible Hulk 2?
Probably.
With She-Hulk at the helm, yes, of course it's backdoor Hulk 2. Come on now.
They officially announced Moon Knight.
Okay.
I feel like I'm supposed to be excited because fans, not our fans, but fans want us to be excited. But it's like
I don't know who that is.
Oh my God, Moon Knight! I can't wait. There, I did it.
We don't live in the right climate to make a great Moon Knight property. So that's why I seem apathetic of a character that I respect and kind of like.
I'm Jeff. What is Moon Knight?
He's a knight, but he's from the moon.
I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna fucking hit you.
Shut up,
That is
bitch.
incorrect. Let me pull up a picture for you. Wait, are we getting fucking Riri Williams? No.
God damn it.
Oh jeez.
No, I don't care about. Dude, our Moon Knight talk is off. I need to get through this shit. Damn it. I think I broke myself. So let's see. Up next is Secret Invasion. Samuel L. Jackson is back as Nick Fury, and Ben Mendelsohn from Captain Marvel returns as the Skrull Talos in Marvel Studios' original series. Fuck, man. Secret Invasion is one of the best storylines in the last 20 years. It's too late.
And they're going to fuck it up.
Well, dude, the thing about Secret Invasion was anyone could be a Skrull. So Elektra got killed and turns into a Skrull. So then you find out that all of these heroes had been turned into Skrulls and no one knew about it. And then the Skrulls just invade the fucking planet, and the heroes that had been switched with Skrulls are in this other like pocket dimension thing or whatever, and they eventually escape and they land in this ship and fight. But the story is like Spider-Man and Wolverine and all these big characters. This is a situation where you're taking like Civil War caliber film where you could actually build an entire wave of the MCU around this. You have dedicated or just dicked it to this. I'm kind of pissed about this one because Secret Invasion is an awesome storyline. People say, oh, modern SJW Marvel. This is before that shit. This is right on the cusp of it sucks dick. It's still kind of good back then. And you get great stories like this.
Yep.
We also had we have Riri Williams. Fuck that show.
Yeah.
Armor Wars. Don Cheadle returns as James Rhodes, aka War Machine, in Armor Wars, a classic Marvel story about Tony Stark's worst fears coming true. What happens when his tech falls into the wrong hands? Huh. You mean like the plot to Iron Man 2 from 10 years ago, where Tony Stark was in the movie, but he's now dead, so it doesn't matter?
Or the end of Iron Man 1 when Jeff Bridges is rolling around in that shit fighting him.
Oh God.
Or
the what is it? The Avengers movie 2 or whatever. The technology like gets sentient or something, and
you mean Ultron? The entire reason that there's a phase 2 in a movie.
Yeah.
Huh.
Exactly. Like, it's like,
dude,
Stark's ideas have always gone. They've gone horribly wrong. I mean, that's almost the whole premise of the Avengers. Whole Marvel thing is
the fucked up part is Tony Stark's technology will always fall into the wrong hands because Tony Stark is the wrong set of hands for his technology. He never produces anything that, well, not never, but post Iron Man, he doesn't produce stuff that's actually helping. It's helping him protect himself from visions and things he's seen, and he creates a lot of problems. So, yeah, it's an awesome concept, but without Tony Stark to tell the story, I don't give a shit about War Machine. He's been a backup character in a lot of these movies. These are all awesome storylines, but really terrible. The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, that's cool. Can't really shit on that.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
We also have I Am Groot, everyone's favorite little tree baby Groot. I'm not going to watch that one.
Nope.
Thor: Love and Thunder, Christian Bale,
With Batman.
Batman playing Thor the God Butcher.
So it's going to be female Thor versus the Bat. Is that what's going to happen?
Female Thor versus Patrick Bateman. He invites her over and gets her into a three-way with somebody else, and he fucking chases her with a chainsaw through the hallway. See, now that I would watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, this is a crazy crossover of American Psycho and Thor. I'm in. Fucking love that movie.
Peyton Reed is back to direct a third Ant-Man film, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, and Michelle Pfeiffer all return. Catherine Newton joins the cast as Cassie Lang, and Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. So a major Marvel character gets announced in an Instagram post. That's awesome. This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll still watch it.
I do. I really do like the Ant-Man movies a lot. They're probably the only ones I rewatch out of the whole Marvel stuff. That and a couple Iron Man ones. But if the director's coming back for a third one, that's really good because he's done a super good job on the first two. So the third one's
Plus
gonna be good
Evangeline Lilly in that suit.
Yes.
Now I wonder how many people. So the guy that's playing Kang the Conqueror is a black dude. But I think Kang the Conqueror is purple. So, like, I'm not going to bitch about race swapping. Is he wearing a suit? I always thought he was just a blue or purple man. Because it's like Gamora. I don't think anyone goes, Zoe Saldana's black. She can't be green. It's like, purple. Isn't he? So.
They already had a purple bad guy. They don't want him to be confused with Thanos.
That's true. That makes sense. You don't want to confuse the normies.
No.
Yeah.
There's
like,
more.
But I thought Thanos was dead. It's like, that's a different character, dipshit.
So John Watts will direct a new Fantastic Four film. So here's a cynical.
No date on that. That's awesome.
But you know what it is? John Watts is not a real director. He is a name. He's a real person. This is what I mean metaphorically, but basically the studios produce and direct his movies and he's just there. What
really?
Well, no, but he directs those Spider-Man films for them. Okay. What artistic flair or unique vision does he bring? Even Mark Webb's bullshit is a unique vision. John Watts' film is very generic, and that's why I complain about it a lot.
Okay, so it's basically just a way for them to do whatever they want and use his name as a director just because they can, kind of thing.
This is just more of me like a metaphor, like a symbolic thing. It's not like an actual literal thing like an Alan Smithy. It's just when I see his name on these movies, it's like, okay, well, there's not going to be anything unique to it. It's just whatever the movie can be. Anybody could direct it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the again, they're making another fucking mistake with Fantastic Four. Like, God damn it. It's so shitty. You know what? I used to love the old cartoon they used to have on TV. I think it was the old 60s cartoon that was on TV or something.
The Fantastic Four one, yeah.
Yeah, I loved that cartoon. I thought it was great. And then the movie, I got real excited when because I used to watch as a kid, and I got real excited when I learned about the Corman movie because I remember I had some tapes that had the trailer on there. Then it never came out. And then we got the one that came out after that, the two that came out with Silver Surfer and shit like that, and those were meh. They were okay.
The reason the Fantastic Four cartoon that we grew up with as kids sucked was because they didn't put the same effort that they did with other Marvel shows. And I've gone back on Disney Plus and looked at those shows, and like they forget to paint F logo or 4 logos and all these other things, and I'm like, the show looks cheap. And Nick, this is the show from the '60s. Remember this one?
Yeah.
I love that.
It had that like Johnny Quest feel to it, and I really dug that, and I really liked it, and I watched it all the time, and I really liked it. But yeah, when I got excited when they were going to do a live action movie, and I saw that trailer for the Corman one, and I was like, oh my god, they're doing it, and then nothing.
Well, shame
and
on
that was a whole fiasco in itself.
Yeah,
I think the documentary is still on Amazon Prime about that. But man, it was literally one of those things that they do just to kind of keep the rights, and how shitty they treated everybody on that, because like they kept screwing with them. They're like, yeah, it's gonna be a real movie. We're gonna have a release for it. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. Woo, yeah, And then dark, nothing. Nobody said anything. All of a sudden, it was entirely shit.
Yeah. So there we go, folks. We learned the next phase of Marvel, and I'm more tired than I am excited.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, I was tired of the Marvel movies, like at phase 2.5, man, because I was done with them. I was like, these are all the same. I don't care anymore. Like, there was nothing fun or different for me at them. And once the last 2 came out, I was real happy because like, there's the last 2. I don't have to worry about this ever again. And now they're starting up, phase 4, and it's just like, oh, just stop, man. Just stop.
Ant-Man is the only thing that moved the needle for me right there. It was just like,
yeah,
I
same
love
here.
Ant-Man.
Same here. Yeah,
love
same here.
Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly. That does it.
Yeah, I'll gladly go watch that movie opening night, definitely. But the other ones and the other shows, whatever, I don't care for. I'm not going to give them my time.
Same question to you too, Nick. Where do you rank Evangeline Lilly in terms of finest MCU ladies?
Ooh.
Let me think.
Top five has to be top 5.
Definitely top 5. If I had more time to actually think about it and evaluate it, she might crack the top 3. I mean, you're probably not going to beat ScarJo.
That's true. That's very true. So I definitely give her top 5 spot for sure.
Definitely top 5. Definitely top 5. Maybe top 3.
Hey guys, real quick,
give me a moment.
Walking by and she doesn't know the news. Guess what they officially announced?
What?
Remember how we had heard Brie Larson was leaving?
Yeah.
They officially announced Captain Marvel 2 today. With she's in it, like it's official.
Oh, so that was bullshit.
We got this covered, was wrong, and they announced the entire phase of Marvel, like it's going to be streaming and other shit. So
people need to stop making idiotic rumors like that. Just make you look stupid after a while.
Evangeline Lilly is number 1 for ML Maven. Well, that's good taste. You can't really go wrong with so many of these choices.
No.
Peggy Carter.
Donkeysaurus Rex says Aunt May is the hottest chick. Yeah, I was gonna say Donkeysaurus Rex with Aunt May. You know what? Marissa Tomei, no matter what year she's been in the movies, she's always been gorgeous to me. I would not turn that down.
Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter. That's it. That's top 3 right there. That's top 3.
That's mine. It's unpopular, but I don't care. I'm going to throw what's her face Darcy from Thor. I just like Kat Dennings for a couple reasons, but
two very big reasons.
Yeah, I'm a big.
Can we please in 2021 get a raunchy sex comedy with Kat Dennings and your other celebrity crush, Jeff?
Alexandra Daddario?
Yeah, can we get that?
I might fucking die at the prospect.
Can we get that, please?
Shit. I'm willing to let Jeff die in order to see that myself.
Yeah, can we please get that movie? Somebody called, I don't know, Seth Rogen maybe to have get it going. I don't know, somebody.
We just need
somebody
to become friends with him for a couple different reasons, Nick. But
I don't know. Well, Jeff, you've been out there long enough. You keep name dropping people. You know, you know somebody. I'm sure you do.
Look, it's the first night of Hanukkah. He's coming over later, okay?
He's probably just making shit up at this point, but we believe him because he's our friend.
God damn it! Yeah, and he's on that. He's probably on that vegan kick right now, man. He's probably
That's true.
Eating lentils right now.
Oh God, dude! Yeah. I only did once in my life. The only thing I've eaten recently was a candy cane.
Was it vegan? Was it?
Was it a vegan candy cane?
Oh,
Did it taste like weeds?
Jeff, you tell me right now, goddammit.
Are candy canes vegan? Please don't be.
According to cruelty-free reviews, while most candy canes you encounter will most likely be vegan, as candy canes really are generally just a compressed sugary curved stick with food coloring on it and some peppermint oil. Sometimes they're non-vegan due to the red coloring sometimes being derived from crushed beetles.
Ours, crushed beetles. What the fuck? Ours were red.
Yeah, you didn't know about the color red in food about that?
No,
been like that for years.
You beetle-eating motherfucker!
I feel betrayed by myself.
So let's
well,
go
that's what happens when you go vegan and you have to eat
the candy
beetles.
canes.
Yeah. I'm disgusted. Who am I?
Next will be wearing a hat and talking about
Man
your
that likes beetles. Hey, you can do that too. Jeff's the vegan. You'll know he's a vegan because he won't stop telling you about how he's a vegan.
If I ever start telling you about how I'm vegan, then you can never let me forget.
You are one. You're just saying you don't tell people about it, but you're admitting that you are one.
I ate turkey today. How the fuck is that
Was
vegan?
it vegan turkey?
Is turkey vegan?
They've got tofurkey.
It was
they do.
yesterday. So if you're calling me a vegan, it's your vegan sandwich.
Yeah.
It wasn't vegan.
Then it wasn't
vegan.
vegan.
Was that? You never
I bet it was tofurkey.
Yeah.
I thought so.
So I wanted to bring this up. I was hoping Dion would have been around for this one because this is a more serious topic, but it doesn't matter. Facebook is being broken up.
Thank God.
We're seeing a change in the world all of a sudden. So hold on. Before we get into that one, our friend 007 Klaus says Kat Denning should replace Zendaya, whatever the F her name is, in the next Spider-Man movie. Yeah.
Listen.
I don't care about in-world continuity.
Listen, Tom Holland can't handle that shit.
Yeah, one of them is as big as his head.
Yeah.
He will not be able to take her
Still
down.
don't know
All
what
right?
the fuck a Zendaya is, though.
It would be a much better.
I think it's that weird rash you get after sitting on a toilet seat.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
are you sitting on toilet seats, Nick?
Apparently in unclean places.
Yeah, it's like Mrs. Santa. Her sister was unclean. I gotta watch Bad Santa, dude. That's a great fucking movie.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Fucking Thurman Merman. That kid grew up to do nothing.
Yeah, he did. So what's going on with Facebook, Jeff?
Well, hold on.
There.
Family.
We've gotten a few subtle ones tonight, but we haven't gotten a good one. There we go. We finally got a good one.
So, with the news of Facebook being broken up, the first thing I thought was, oh, good. Something right this year. Kendo, what were your initial thoughts when you heard this?
Serves them right. You know, you can only have so much stuff. You know, you can only own so many properties. You can only drink so much. You can only fuck so much. Wait, that was from Slapshot. But yeah, you can. The monopoly thing is there for a reason. You don't want one person controlling everything. And if anything that we've learned over the last year is that one or two people controlling all technologies and social media platforms is not a good idea.
Nope.
Because all they got to do is just make one decision and decide how things are going to go. And your shit can get struck for the pettiest of reasons, whether it's accurate or not.
Yeah.
And we can't have that. Because that's the harbinger for the death of free speech on social platforms is by limiting what people can and can't say.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like a lot of these social media platforms have been putting out new terms of service in the last few months, and they've been really hitting everybody hard with it. It's been bad from what I've seen. I've heard people getting struck for like the most minor infractions all of a sudden now.
Well,
and
one of our listeners that you may be talking about the same guy. I won't say his name just for reasons, but like we have a listener who has like constantly gets swatted down by Facebook.
Yeah.
Dumb stuff too. Like Oh, and I haven't said anything to you guys. I'll just say it. Like we have received 6 notifications of Facebook instantly taking down posts in our group. So, folks, if you're out there listening and you see something that's been removed, I have screenshots to prove that we're not taking down your shit.
Now, the person you're talking about is that person a mutual friend of ours?
Yes, it is, because I know who he's talking about.
Okay, and does said person have their own YouTube channel?
Yes, they do. And
He's
it's
awesome.
somebody that each of us probably talks to every day.
Mhm.
Okay,
I talked to him before the show.
okay, I'm pretty sure I know who that is.
To him earlier today as well.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I know who that is.
Let's just say he's a huge fan of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that particular person has multiple accounts for those things. It's always fun to hear.
They're all incarcerated in Facebook jail because I got a friend request from him on a new account, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? I don't know this person. And then he had to send me a message and be like, hey, dude, this is actually me. I'm like, oh, you got locked up again, did you now?
Yeah, and it's and like it's really sad because I've seen that he's posted things he's gotten like put in Facebook jail for, and I'm just like, really, that's what did it?
Yeah, it's so arbitrary. It's just fucked up at this point.
It is, and I mean, there was at one time, I think, when the pandemic hit hard and everybody had to go home, that Facebook put everything on on auto for a day or two. And then every someone was getting struck all over the place for no reason, and they had to tell everybody, "Oh, it's our AI bot. That's what's doing it." It's like, "Oh, okay, so your AI bot that's been around for maybe trying to get going for 10 or 20 years now is doing a shit job still. You can't get it right. It's not going to happen."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always like to talk about these big moments as they happen, because it's like, oh, remember when Facebook got broke up? Because what do we know? Facebook has become such an integral part of what we do here on the channel, how we all communicate, how I communicate with a lot of listeners out there, like Superfan Adam Shahan, who I see out there right now. It's such an intrinsic part of my life, and I know it's not a good thing. So, higher brain function realizes, hey, if it goes away or whatever, that's for the better. But whatever brain of me is like, I like it. It's convenient, and
I think it's one of those things where it's like we've had it for so long now, and we've used it for so long that it's just it's just ingrained in us so much it's second nature, and that's bad. But I agree with you. Yeah, it is something I use every day, and it's something we use for a purpose. And it is bad that it's become this way. But I mean, they've kind of done it to themselves, and we've done it to ourselves as well by being part of this whole, the internet is free thing, and stuff like that, and this is the end result. It's not really free because they get to use all of our stats and sell our information to everybody, and that's the problem. So I don't know. It's there needs to be a balance somewhere.
I agree. We need a balance.
I thought I was talking. I had myself muted.
No, I was about to say, where's Jeff?
Yeah,
Are there more cars? Are there more cars going by?
I was just like, hey, I agree. And then he was like, I agree. I was like, I thought we were having an I am Spartacus moment, Kendo.
I am Spartacus. I'm the spy.
Oh, duh.
Oh, God. Just the way he said that was so. Anyways,
our friend 007 Cloud sent in one more super chat. He says, "You forget Toby is going to be in the movie." 007 Cloud, I'm going to tell you the most honest answer I can give about this. I am happy that Tobey Maguire's in this movie, and I'm happy this movie is going to get made because selfish me wants a high-end Tobey Maguire Spider-Man action figure made by today's standards. If I get that, yeah, I'll be completely honest about everything. But part of me will be like, at least I got this action figure. With that being said, though, I want to be like, oh my God, it's the old Tobey Maguire. But it's, the old Tobey Maguire. I loved those movies. He is solid. That's who I think of as Spider-Man still to this day. But, more isn't always going to be better. Sometimes remember them the way they were.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, this went a little shorter than usual, so we're going to put this one to bed. But it just doesn't feel right without Dion.
It doesn't.
Jeff, I because we talked about the doing moist movie titles one last time, and I came up with 5 the other day. So I've got my 5. If you'd like me to give you them right now.
Hold on 1 second. Let me pull up. I think I have on this computer still the title card from that episode. So give me a moment to look that up. I think it'd be a cool callback. Hopefully I have it. Oh shit.
Yeah, if not, Nick can fix it in post.
I found it. Here we go. Right here, episode 125, folks.
Wow.
So if you want to know the numbering of all of this stuff, here you guys go.
Where an individual hijacked one of our shows and made it an amazing show just by having a name that was unique.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is the best listener interaction we ever had because it
just comes out of nowhere.
So Kendo, would you like to give your 5 titles?
Okay, so I got 5 of them here. It wouldn't be me if I didn't bring this one out first. Moist Mutant Ninja Turtles. Follow that up with Moist Gun. And then we go and watch Batman Moist of the Phantasm. And then we're going to get a little more risque with Moist Places. And then we're going to finish it off with Moist Women.
Nice. You know, it's a great movie title, even though it's not a moist title. Scent of a Woman. Just a great name.
Hoo-ah!
Yeah, hoo-ah! So, yeah, I think that is that is a perfect way to close out tonight's show, guys. Nick, do you have anything you'd like to add, or you good with where we are?
No, just kind of a little bit of a personal thing, but just kind of something I learned about this week. I should have put it on Patreon, but I'm going to say it now. Some friends of mine who do independent film, the production company's called Gator Blade Films or Sleazebox, depending on who's running it at the time and what name they decide to use. But they had their movies up on Vimeo. They had their own channel. They had their own way of putting the movies out so people could buy them and watch them. But because of new terms of service through Vimeo, their entire channel got canceled and they got shit canned. And any money they made, any money they made this month off of their stuff, and anybody who bought the movies to keep on their platform is gone now. So, and they're independent film. They rely on people buying their movies, and they thought Vimeo was a good platform. I thought Vimeo was a good platform for independent film. Apparently not. Things are changing, and not for the better. So, if you can support independent film, independent creators any way you can, please do so. Even if it is just sharing a link on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, do it because sharing the links will help more than you know. So,
yes,
there's that.
And on a less serious note, when Up the Ass Franklin makes a channel, let's make sure quartering number a week.
We will support that fucking guy to the end of time.
Yeah.
Because he did it right.
I want to see somebody with such a unique name have 1 million subscribers thrust upon him and just see how it goes. Just as a social experiment. I would love that.
He won't know what to do with himself.
That was amazing.
Up the ass, Franklin. I wish you nothing but the best, sir. You are an inspiration.
The listener of the week.
And you're Kendo's new favorite listener.
Yeah, he probably just stopped by today. It was probably the first time he's ever listened to the show. He probably sent that super chat. We didn't read it right away. We did, but it probably might have wasn't fast enough. He's like, man, you guys didn't read my super chat in the first 60 seconds. Fuck them. I'm never listening to them again. And it turns out like all of a sudden he gets all this traffic to his fucking thing. He's like, why do I have so many subscribers? I don't have videos on here.
That'd be great.
Our friend Tim Briggs, thank you very much for your generous super chat. He says, that episode was one of the funniest things I ever listened to live. It was absolutely amazing and probably one of the top 3 ever. And I've been around since 2015. And Tim is the guy that always comes to the conventions to hang out with us, folks. So
he brings bottles of alcohol to make sure we're nice and socially lubricated. We love that guy.
Yeah.
But folks, do us a favor this week, honestly. Go back and listen to that episode. It was a lot of fun. I think with all the stuff and the stresses in the world right now, we could use just a nice reminder that it's not always going to suck. So that was a nice episode. That was a lot of fun. Definitely one of our best. I
Did
laughed
you
so hard.
Say the world could use a little moistness.
It's true, we could. Well,
Mhm.
only during fire season. But no, folks, seriously, go check this episode out. Brandon was an awesome part of the community. This isn't easy to talk about, but RIP Brandon Moist, and thank you for everything you did for the channel, and thanks for being a part of the history of the channel, man. So we're gonna close out the episode right now, folks. We're gonna go over to Jesse's stream, Mindless Entertainment. What do we got going on, Jesse, tonight on Mindless Entertainment?
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. It's the Festival of Lights.
Yeah.
Candles
And
that our cat decided to throw on the floor.
Hey, instead of one day of presents, we get 8 crazy nights.
Yeah.
That's a great song.
It is.
All right. So, folks, we're going to be back next time with more. So join us next time for more. I'll have a video on Saturday as well as Monday, so you do not miss out on our videos. Thank you for supporting the channel, folks. And no matter what you do, no matter where you go, always be excellent to each other.
.com